Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board, yes.
The intro scared you, huh, D-Mills? You ain't had them headphones in.
I didn't even know we started, but what's up?
Oh, so the stuff he was talking about prior to the podcast may be true then. What Josh said.
Yeah.
He didn't pass for it.
Wait, who said it?
Yeah. I said Josh.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Who?
You reminiscing.
He missed the old company. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You kind of looking like a little bit.
Josh Dickens.
Shout out to our boy JD.
No, but I'm talking about Devon. Said he had got engaged in some activities before the podcast.
Yeah.
I would never. I'm not you.
Dang.
Why do I gotta always be brought up? Because at least I knew the podcast started up.
Yeah. What was you over there watching?
Nothing.
That new Ice Spice Halloween video.
Oh, she got a new Halloween video?
Now he don't know what we talking about.
He definitely
No, I
did.
think he was watching that twerk compilation.
No, I was
He be
just
dropping
scrolling through
twerk
Twitter. I
compilations.
was actually watching a Donald Trump video.
Uh-oh.
That makes sense for you.
That's crazy.
You going back down that road, okay.
Oh, y'all crazy.
Didn't know. Did not know. How y'all feeling, though? How you feeling? I know you feeling good.
Always.
Because I seen you.
Where you see me?
Just going through YouTube. I see somebody talking about load management. I say, hey, I know this dude.
Yeah.
He's heard a lot in his career.
Yeah.
Let me see what he has to say. No, I'm not saying it in a funny way.
Oh, I thought you was about him.
No. So I'm like, let me see what this
So
dude's
you was
thoughts
hurting
is.
a lot in your career?
I was hurt. I mean, I've had 2 shoulder surgeries. So.
And so I click on him, and he's sitting next to him.
Yeah.
Joakim Noah was speaking on load management.
Yeah, I did a video with Joakim, which is pretty dope. We went to that one court that's like famous here, where it's on floor 17. You can see a panoramic view of Chicago. It's pretty dope. So shout out to my boy Joakim. Always like lead those type of things, wondering if I made a lasting impression. This gonna sound crazy. I got bro number.
That's crazy.
And he was like, let me give you my number so we can stay connected. I'm like, say less, because Joakim is our guy.
Yeah,
he's our guy here in Chicago. So shout out to him. He's getting his own show, and that was like episode 1 of his own show, and I happened to be.
He need his own show. I kind of felt that on its way because I feel like I've done seen him on so many different shows over the past month or two, and I feel like that's always when somebody is letting us know that they're about to
start their own.
They
starting to get their own personality.
Yeah,
and their whole face out
get people
there.
familiar with seeing me speak on different topics and different things.
Good takes too.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I liked his approach. I think it's important to have people like that where he obviously is a former player, but he is also understanding from a fan perspective and or organization perspective on different things. So I loved what he said about the load management. The only thing I would have asked him, and I know I had the luxury of like being able to watch it, but he was saying something of like, are we talking about PR or a championship? And my only question, and it's not even really to him, but it's like he said something about figuring out what's best for the player. But I think some of these organizations like Philadelphia, like the Clippers with Kawhi, they've tried a lot, almost everything you can do, and nothing has given them a consistent result to say, we know we can chill with Joel Embiid giving us 50 games, we're going to get X, Y, and Z. If we know Kawhi plays 45 games, we're guaranteed to have him for the postseason. And I think that's where the pressure comes in for the organizations, because it's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. And that's why I think it can get a little bit murky and frustrating.
Yeah, Tommy from Young Man in the 3 hit me up like the day before, like, you in Chicago? I'm like, no, but I can be. And he's like, yeah, we doing the shoot.
I
with
remember
Joakim.
you telling me this, and when I seen the video, I was like, KB must have told us the story wrong or been bullshitting, because that shit said Kenny Beecham interview with
I didn't know
Joakim.
I thought I was just gonna be there.
And I remember you told us in Discord, like, hey, I just got a text. And
Yeah.
like, am I gonna be in Chicago? Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. You were saying
I
that.
I
You
knew
was saying
I was gonna
pull
be
up.
there, but they told me it would be like 10, 15 minutes of me. Then the rest of the episode, I won't be there. I got there, man. I'm center. I'm like, oh shit. If they would have told me, then I would have prepped a little bit more for these moments. But the best story of it, I'm late as I'm normally a punctual guy, but you get downtown,
Chicago can get crazy.
Parking is crazy.
Yep.
I get spot hero to try to make sure I'm on time. I get to the lot and they say it's full, so I need to get a different spot hero.
Hey, spot hero, get on your job.
That's never
before
happened to me before. That's crazy.
Me
though.
either. So
Me
I thought I
either.
was cool. Anyway, I pull up, introducing myself. Joe, like, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm good. It's a basketball court. He got a ball to say. He say, let me see what you got. He throw me the ball. And I've said here multiple times, I haven't played like basketball in forever. I haven't shot a basketball in maybe a year.
Are we keeping it real or what?
I'm 100% about to tell a true story.
No, but I'm saying you haven't shot a ball. Even if you shot a ball every day that week, the results probably would have been the same.
But here, the results were NBA 3, 4 misses. No air balls, no like clanks, but 4 misses.
We seen NBA threes in that workout.
Yeah.
But
then I look at NBA threes differently after that workout.
I hit 2 of them, and I told him I was done.
Mid-ranges, you said?
No, this is NBA 3.
Oh, I swear he said mid-range.
No, I hit 1 NBA 3, 1 mid-range, because he was like, let me see your free throw. I was like, I ain't hit a free throw in my life. Like, I was 0 for 0 in high school. 1 NBA 3, 1 short mid-ranger, I'll call it.
What did you do after you made the NBA 3?
I went into the mid-range.
So you just act like it was no. I'm saying you act like it was no. My boy.
He asked me if I hooped. Like if I hooped, I was like, yeah, but I didn't play varsity. Like I was honest with him. I didn't say freshman B team, and then JV. I got some minutes, and then sophomore year I didn't play at all. But I told him, yeah, I played in high school, but I didn't make varsity, even though I never tried out for varsity. If I would have tried out,
different story.
Different story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you was there solo. Because I would have been like, nah, Joakim, make a layup. Start with the layup first, Joakim. But I'm also glad we wasn't there as a whole either, because Mike would have told Joakim that he was almost going to go to Florida, and if Billy Donovan would have just seen him one time in high school, he probably would have, because your ass be spicing it up.
Yeah,
you be spicing it up for sure. That was dope. I'm also a fan of the essential stuff that they're doing.
Man, that's the thing I showed Derek. I'm like, when that dropped, I'm gonna have to buy a couple of them.
Yeah, that shit was.
Those things are
simplistically clean. We got an audience member here today. It's something rare. My boy Gold Hayes is here. I know a lot of the viewers have seen me post Gold Hayes or whatever. Super producer out of Chicago. Produced one of y'all favorite YN's favorite song. The Switch It Up. Pooh Shiesty and G Herbo. I still remember when that snippet dropped. How all of the youngins. The ski masks was
I remember
going
hearing
crazy.
it come on here and Gold Hayes on the beat. And I was like, what?
What the hell? Yeah. That's platinum? That's platinum.
That's
so my
dope.
boy is a platinum selling producer. So
dope.
we not used to having a live audience. And the music world people, when they say they're gonna be somewhere like here, we do this early. So I was some bullshit. I thought they was bullshitting because Flex was supposed to be here too. But I'm like, when they wake up, they're going to be like, we good. But Go Hayes actually showed up, so shout out to Go Hayes.
Did he get here before you?
Yeah, he was a couple minutes before me. Yeah, he actually was. That's decent. Let's drop the mic, though.
He got his iPad.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
I occasionally
this is
bring
note-taking iPad, though, because he was looking for something, and he was like, oh, it's on my other iPad. Or it's on my iPad.
What that other iPad got?
I was looking on the notes on my phone, but I was like, it's my iPad.
Yeah.
Because I be usually whatever's close to me.
They don't share?
Right, mine
It doesn't
share.
sync up. Mine doesn't sync up. They're both separate.
I'm sure you can get that fixed if you
Anyways,
wanted to.
for Drop the Mic, we're talking about players in today's game that you do not want to trash talk. I got some players on my list. You tell them if they fit the mold, and you can also add players that you think fit.
So you're saying, like, if we were a player, you don't talk trash to this dude?
Right. This dude will turn up on you if you get him mad. Just players that really speak with their
So
emotion.
people from our team are saying that KB is the ambassador to Chicago and he needs a key. And it just remind me of when Dirk got the key to Maywood.
They're taking that back, right?
They are?
Nah, I don't know.
They did take it back?
No, it was Bellwood and Broadview.
Oh, that's what it was. It wasn't Maywood. So let's get KB the key to
a place I've never been before. Highland Park.
Boom.
Plainfield.
Plainfield. I used to live by Plainfield, so that's a little bit too close.
Where's Johnny's technically? That's
Elmwood Park.
Give KB the key.
Hell
at
yeah.
Elmwood Park.
That's 7 blocks of area. Give me that one, please.
It's close out
You
west.
ain't never finna go
close
over
It's
out
there.
very
Yeah,
close
it's
to out
very
west.
close. So
That's
you going out there.
Those are the exact people.
I guess if you own it, right?
I guess they're a little
or
bit
you
better.
got the key.
Would you prefer somebody from Elmwood Park to claim out west or somebody from Naperville?
Elmwood Park.
Elmwood Park is
Right, 'cause
they're
so
right
close,
there,
but
right?
even then, it's weird.
Yeah, it is.
The
but
demographic is so much different.
It is.
He love it over there.
You,
Talking about, is Johnny's better than Portillo's? Hell no.
it is.
Anyways, players you don't want to trash talk. Tell me these players fits. Get this one out the way. LeBron James, obviously.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't trash talk Brown.
I guess essentially, he's one of those, you don't want to poke the bear.
It
Even
depends
though
on- Depends on who you are.
Gradey Dick did. I mean, I don't know if he was trash talker, but he hit a big shot and he did one of these when Bron was there.
Right.
And
Jason Tatum dunked him and bumped him and screamed. So it depends on who you are and what you're about. Dylan Brooks can do it because what does he have to lose? You get what I'm saying?
The game. He can lose the game.
I don't think anybody ever seen as a team lose a game and say, man, Dylan Brooks.
We really wish we had Dylan Brooks.
He has all the upside there.
Now I remember
who was Grant Williams talking to? Oh, it was Jimmy Butler, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he had Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler is on
Donovan
this list
Mitchell.
too.
He's got a few, and then he just ran over Tatum last night. So
I think the owner of the Cavs, or the
control.
GM of the Cavs, was talking trash to LeBron after he left, and he was
Dan Gilbert, yeah.
Yeah, and then he spazzed in that fourth quarter right after that. It's like he looked at him and was like, bet.
Didn't he say something like, we're better off without you? Like, not in that specific
He wrote
game,
a
but
real
he
list,
wrote something.
like a real letter, and was saying like crazy stuff. And
then
just
he was on his knees when Bron said he wanted to come back. That's crazy. Crazy.
Just get it out the way. Jimmy Butler. I already kind of talked about him, but he's one of them dudes you don't really want to
I mean,
I
it depends on the playoffs, yeah. Not
I
now.
like when
In the
Jimmy
regular
Butler
season.
is the recipient of the trash talk where he can go back at it. Because sometimes he trash talking, he not even there to back up the trash talk.
Right.
I know
We
what
about
you
to
mean.
win
Like
this
it's
series,
Celtics.
but I'm
Yeah.
out for 4 straight games.
But
like, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Any other time he's come out as the favorable guy, the TJ Warren thing pops up in my mind immediately. Like immediately, he was a favorable guy there. The Karl Anthony Towns, until a couple 2 nights ago, my boy Cat was like,
Oh, they fold them
"Watch
things.
out, little boy."
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bam
anytime
had
you can
11
take,
and 3 that game.
we're gonna get to that. But anytime you can go and take the back of the roster and beat the starters, I'm probably not talking shit to him.
And I love that story continues to get more and more now that Jeff Teague has a podcast.
For sure.
That he kind of opened up to everybody to let us know exactly
Talking
what
about
it
he
was
got
like.
a Rolex on. There's been so many variations of this story.
I'm very surprised that they have been able to keep the footage of that hush-hush to where it's just gone. Like,
Do we know if it was even filmed?
Well, there has to be cameras in the facility, right?
I see what you mean about Draymond. We saw Draymond punch.
Yeah,
the
it's
pool,
from
so
the
you
camera in the
wouldn't think that.
facility.
But I think what benefit would Minnesota had until now to release that? Because Cat is their guy.
No, I'm just saying, even then, like, I'm surprised like TMZ ain't get a hold of the footage.
Because what benefit would?
I mean, it's not even Minnesota. Like, someone just
Yeah,
I
like the
see what you
security
mean.
guard was the one that sold
Yeah.
the
I can
Draymond
see the
Green
benefit
punch.
of that.
Yeah.
You probably got some real paper from that. He ain't probably getting
he
shit
sure
from
did.
the
Lost his
Jimmy
damn
Butler.
job too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think TMZ like, how much? Well, what you want for that? But the Draymond pool? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Draymond, never mind. We keep your list. We could talk about Draymond later.
Last, I guess, just kind of easy one before we go into the more like in-depth ones. But Kevin Durant, obviously, kind of agree. You don't want to poke the bear with Kevin Durant. He might drop 50 on you.
But he's, again, another guy where I just think all of these guys, I think it depends on who you are. Because I really feel like Dylan Brooks does nothing but gain when he's in these situations with them. I feel like Dylan Brooks became more of a household name by trying to be an irritant than him actually being an incredible basketball player. Because he does his defensive job really well.
He does.
But I feel like his name started when he was dressing up as Stone Cold Steve Austin and trying to irritate people and doing that. Then people started to be like, who is this Dylan Brooks guy? And he don't, if Brian goes off for 20 in a row, I don't think people were like, it's different if
I
it's.
see what you mean.
Yeah.
But that one Photoshop will pop up, him in a Shanghai Sharks jersey.
They do that for everybody. That's on some weak shit at times. And it'd be crazy because people really be signing a Shanghai shirt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Somebody really went over there.
It's a real organization. It's real.
Didn't Eric Bledsoe sign that?
Yes. But somebody else recently.
Oh.
Maybe like a Darius Baisley or somebody really went over there.
It might have been Darius Baisley.
Yeah.
But somebody like that. Zion Williamson.
Am I talking shit to him?
Just like, not
Yes.
even that you just trash talking him, but just like when he really gets, just how they was talking about his weight and it was whatever, and then the next game he just popped off or whatever. It's just stuff like that. It's just you don't want to poke the bear with Zion.
I don't think Zion's someone I fear. I respect him, but I don't think I'm like.
Don't let that 1-5 for 20 game against the Warriors.
No. I know how good Zion is.
I get what you're saying.
But I'm
though.
also saying, like, he isn't LeBron, KD. He's not in that territory yet to where I'm like, hold on. We don't want to piss him off.
He's also such like a friendly guy that I don't know if I'm going out my way to trash talk him.
You probably feel bad about it.
Yeah, he just does his job.
He trying to talk to you
I
about
feel like
Naruto
for
and
him,
shit.
it's not more so trash talk. It's just more so like when he gets like emotional type thing. Like I told you yesterday, like I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like he need to add a bag or something like that. And he also got like a moving screen. He just had a bad
What
stretch.
did I say that? What did I respond to you with when you said he need to add something to his bag?
That shit is long overdue.
No,
Or
I
something
said
like
he's
that.
missing the biggest. He's missing
the biggest tool to everybody's basically bag in the NBA, which was shooting. He don't even got a jump shot yet.
He's doing a lot of turnaround jump shots from 12 feet out this season.
And honestly, I don't know if it's the same play, but he had a lot like a turnaround kind of jump shot, and I was like, that looked kind of basically like a floater type of thing. It didn't even look like it's an actual fluid jumper.
Kenny Lofton Jr. is on the Shanghai Sharks.
Oh, Bulls legend.
That's who it was.
Bulls legend.
Yeah, he probably putting up stats over there. Everywhere he go, he be putting up some crazy stats.
The Pelicans lost like nine players so far this year.
They did.
And then even Jordan Hawkins went to the locker room last night. So it's like, what the hell are they supposed to do? The only silver lining for us is that our boy Vontae gets a bunch of minutes now.
They still beat
the Pacers.
the Pacers
last night. Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean,
Brandon
they had two guys go to the locker
More
room
opportunity
too.
for
but
Brandon Ingram. Go chase that bag, boy.
He had 26, I believe.
It's a good drop to Mike, though. Let us know in the comment section some dudes that Mike didn't mention.
I got Mills Mans of the Week this week.
All right.
It is Saturday, so you know it's a weekly tradition. We're going to keep bringing to the table.
I got a new segment I'm bringing to the table too. But go ahead. We segment up.
This is probably a guy we were going to end up talking about later just because he has been hot, and it honestly just fits the what we're doing later. Tre Mann.
Oh, that's the guy that's in my okay. Go ahead.
Tre Mann has been phenomenal this season. Granted, B. Mills is hurt, but I think Tre Mann has stepped up and really I think he's earned a lot of the trust of the coaches over there with this play that he's shown since Brandon Miller went out. It started in game 1 when Brandon Miller went out. Tre Mann came out and went crazy. He had 24 points off the bench. Followed that up with another 17-point game off the bench, another 14-point, 27, 23. Tre Mann has been on fire. He's been one of the hottest bench players in the league right now. They haven't changed it. They continuously bring him off the bench, which
As
I like.
they should, yeah.
And I think he's earned a lot. He's got that trust, and I think that's something big for him because he really didn't have it in OKC. They didn't really know where to play him. He came here last year. Minutes was a little shaky, and now this year it looks like he might be a true like 6-man off the bench.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem with OKC. They be having all that talent, but they already got a team that's trying to contend. Mm-hmm. But I'm super glad that he's doing his thing. You could tell that I like the fact that they're bringing him off the bench too, because we know Brandon Miller is going to be starting once he comes back, and it's like just keep him in that flow because he's probably going to stay there, and he's probably going to keep getting like starter type minutes when it comes down to it because B Mills can slide over to the 3, and just the way he's been shooting the ball on the confidence. You can see, like, he's really happy to be in Charlotte.
He went on his own personal run against the Celtics last night that made me think they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
And then eventually the Celtics do what they do and they just hit a bunch of shots.
They were answering him back on his
run. But it was pretty cool. I like that your Mills Mans of the Week could be a star sometimes, and sometimes it could be a 6-man.
I was damn sure expecting a star. Yeah. I was never.
I like the turnaround for Charlotte, too. Usually the young players leave and they get better. Like, they find their right. Somebody came in and found their shot.
That's true.
There.
I think this is like the perfect situation for him. All he has to do is go out there and score. And I think he does that so well. He doesn't have to worry about playmaking. We already know LaMelo's the phenomenal playmaker he is. So just come in, play free. Play free. And I think he said that in a post-game conference that, like, they just allowed me to play free and be myself. And I think that's sometimes what some players just need, that reassurance that, hey, you might take a dumbass shot, but we got your back. Because we know you can make a few of them. So as long as you sprint your ass back and play defense, we good.
Yeah, I do think that that's a lot of players we see elevate when they get the confidence and reassurance that they're allowed to play their game. The number one player who I think we've seen over the recent years benefit most from that is Jordan Clarkson. When Jordan Clarkson went to the Utah Jazz and Quinn Snyder empowered the fact that, okay, you're going to take some crazy shots, some shots that are going to make most coaches be like, what the was that? But I understand that comes with you. So I'm not gonna restrict you by taking that big part of your game away. And by empowering him, we saw a different level of Jordan Clarkson during that time. And I think it's the same thing with Tre Mann. Tre Mann, the segment I am going to be introducing is just called I See You. It was 4 guys like Tre Mann because you were going to always, I felt like, bring up a star player, but it's those guys around the league that may not be the most popular who was like, you know, I see you or whatever. But I'm proud of Tre Mann because I was worried. I'm a Tre Mann fan, and I loved him going to OKC first. But then whenever it's a player with that much talent not being able to get minutes, it's always like, yeah, OKC is loaded. But then you also have to ask yourself, are they doing anything to also stand out? And that's what could get worrisome because we become big believers of some young talent. But it's not always that they can't get minutes. It's that they're not showing anything to get minutes. And I was kind of getting concerned, like, damn, is Tre Mann gonna be another one of those guys I was high on that's gonna bounce around from team to team to team and like never be able to get his foot in? So to be able to see him have this start and kind of cement himself as like a scoring piece off the bench, I think he's in a perfect role. And that team is fun. That team is extremely fun. Did y'all watch that game? Or did y'all just watch like the end when y'all realized
it was bits
close?
and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So to James Salone hit his first shot, and maybe this went viral on Twitter or got around, but his reaction to scoring, did y'all get a chance to see? Bro, I have never seen a rookie celebrate that hard on their first shot. Normally when you get your first bucket, you try to act cool. He did a Jordan fist pump in the middle. He hit a three and was like,
that's something I expected like Bronny to do when he hit that one.
No, I'm telling you, if somebody
he had a couple more in that game too, though.
Would have ran by while he did that,
he
would have gave somebody a concussion.
Can I add people to that list though for like I see you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ryan Dunn has been like amazing.
Oh, he was.
And we're probably gonna talk about him later. And I know they've been talking about the rookies having hit like 14, 15. Like to talk about the weak draft.
He was the second rookie to hit 15 in the game,
bro. Some of these rookies
are
the
playing.
Bub.
Yep.
That makes sense. Some of these rookies are having like a major impact on their team, and he's really standing out. And it's different too, because like not too long ago, we were literally sitting right next to him, talking to him, and to see him in the NBA doing his thing, it's like a proud type moment.
He told us he was going to be making his shot.
He did. And like, I'm be honest, I ain't believe the shit.
Bro, he's knocking that thing down.
It looked smooth as hell too.
It went on Twitter, a video of him airballing multiple free throws last season. And for him to, like, in that one game, they eventually had to pull him for Grayson Allen against the Clippers because he missed like 2 or 3 in a row. But he hit 3 threes in that game. And if you would have told, I'm not an NBA draft guy, but like the one thing about him is that he just cannot hit a jump shot. He is offensively just not there. And then for him to be able to start in the place of Bradley Beal, play great defense on James for an entire game, and hit multiple threes, like this class in general, let's just say it's been less than amazing. You do get your moments here or there. He might legitimately have Rookie of the Year.
You know, I think he is. He is the leader. He's the leader.
You think so?
And it's crazy because
I think Bub is maybe the leader for me right now.
It could really not. And again, this is super early, but like it hasn't been just stat wise. It's been like your impact and what you've done in your team.
Yeah.
And it's rare that you have a Rookie of the Year race that is the case. Usually it's like this guy gets his numbers. The lowest point per game for Rookie of the Year is who ever?
7.
I'm trying to think.
Who or the points?
Both.
I'm gonna say 9 PPG.
Higher than that.
Malcolm Brogdon.
It was 11.7 by Mike Miller.
Orlando Magic,
Mike Miller. And like right now, if Ryan Dunn does win it, or even if Bub Carrington, who's leading the score, wins it, that would be the lowest point per game for a Rookie of the Year ever. That's what this class is doing right now.
But what I love about this class is that was my whole argument to people. It's like, yeah, you're not going to get the Paolo, Wemby, or anything like that where it's immediately we see a star. You'll probably have to comb the hairs to find like a Giannis Antetokounmpo. But like if you were going to get a star, it would be that type of situation.
Yeah.
But what we did see and kind of felt was that you were going to get players who could impact the game and be rotational supporting cast players, which I think is the most valuable thing you can get in the NBA, because I don't care how many stars you have. If you don't have the proper supporting cast around them, it's kind of pointless. We've seen that on so many teams who had the top guy or the top 2 guys, but they couldn't get the 3rd, 4th, 5th, you know what I mean? And it just kind of went to waste. So,
yeah. Especially when you're talking about having a long career, being a role player, you can still play 20-plus years in the league.
Yeah.
As long as you are great at what you do.
We see Zach Edey. He has like a role. We want to see some more, but he has a role for a team that needs that. Don Connect is giving y'all shooting, and I would think that as the season progresses, so with the minutes. But the shooting, and And then you have like guys who I think are somewhat of projects, but again, like he's saying, it'll progress on like a Modest Buzelis, a Donovan Clingan. Because right now, Donovan Clingan a little slow or whatever, but
he's looking good in his minutes though.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been pretty fun. I got a
somebody
couple.
went small against him last night though, and it was kind of tough. Who did they play last night?
Okay,
They played OKC.
Because Chet was in foul trouble in that game.
They went small, and that is where it kind of got murky for him. But I still like him a lot.
Let's get into pieces of news. A couple days back, we found out that Orlando Magic superstar Paolo Banchero has been diagnosed with a torn right oblique and will be sidelined indefinitely. He'll be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks.
This was like heart-wrenching news because the Magic was rolling. They seemed like they was really, and Paolo was rolling too. He was just coming off that 50-point game. This was very deflating to see like that momentum just get knocked down. You saw him last night play without him. And it just didn't look that good.
It was a tough watch.
Yeah, it was
for sure.
They never really had a chance in that game against the Cavs. And I think if Paolo's there, that game is significantly better and it's a must watch.
I know y'all were in Discord with me when I was watching Bulls versus Magic as the Bulls came back to win that game. And I said in that game multiple times, like, damn, Paolo looks stinky because he had airballed like 2 shots in a row. Little did we know is because his damn oblique was torn. Yeah. He was playing through that, and he still had 30 in that game versus the Bulls.
Yeah.
Little boy and some of y'all.
It's frustrating to see a rising star who at this point was about to make an All-NBA team miss at least a month of play.
And they were a team that last year dealt with injuries at the beginning of the year to where they got off to a slow start, and then they had to climb back up from being an 8th seed. Ended up climbing all the way back up.
No, how slow did they came out the gate as like didn't they fluctuate? Because at one point
it was so jumbled.
Somebody got hurt.
For sure, but I'm saying they initially was like the 2 seed, and remember all of they fan base was talking and shit.
Yeah, they did.
Then it kind of fluctuated down, and then it kind of
didn't Franz get hurt, or somebody important got hurt, and then eventually they got healthy, and then they started to ascend. And I can't remember who got injured.
So they started off 16-7 last year, midway through December, and then this don't give me all of the context, but by January, 2 months later, they were sitting at the 8th seed. And then, of course, they fell all the way back up to end up as a 4th seed.
So their season is not over with. 4 to 6 weeks puts us in December or something like that. If it is just 4 to 6 weeks. And you would love to think that a guy like Paolo Banchero would be able to come right back in and get back to it. It's 50-50 because it just depends on what's going on. And everybody else in the NBA will probably be starting to hit their peak shapeness or peak rhythm.
Mid-season shape.
Yeah, mid-season form. So you know, in a perfect world, he bounced back. He played through it. So I would guess the closer and closer he gets, the more he'll get on the floor to try to get himself into form or whatever. But the season is not over for them.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But it is definitely frustrating as a Magic fan, I would imagine. But even as a basketball fan, I'm kind of, and it has nothing to do with Paolo Banchero, but I'm just tired of seeing guys hurt. I know it's nothing they can do about it. No, Paolo Banchero doesn't want to be hurt. Neither does Kawhi or Embiid or Paul George. But every day, it's like I used to think when I do KB could probably relate to it, but like when you do a 2K sim, it just feel like injuries pop up. It's like, damn, it don't be like this. Yeah. No, it be like that.
It do.
I don't even do like 2K sims like that, but yeah, I always, because I be trying to get through the little things, because I just want to see progression and everything like that, and I just be like, always just do it, because I'm tired of hitting it every like 2-3 days. They talking about somebody hurt. What you want to do with the rotation?
But that's
always been in 2K.
Before the game start, you got Underdog Fantasy giving me all of these updates on like probable, won't play, back. And I'll text y'all one time, like, what is DeAnthony Melton doing? DeAnthony Melton was out chest. 2 days later, out, back. I'm like, what? When he go home, is he got a son that's playing football or something he practicing with? Because he get beat up.
Yeah, we found out that C.J. McCollum and Herb Jones are both going to be out for a significant amount of time.
2 to 4 weeks.
Right abductor strain for C.J. and a right shoulder strain for Herb. So that means 4 of their top 6 players are injured right now. CJ, DeJounte, Herb, and Trey Murphy all out for a time.
But I see you, Jordan Hawkins.
We definitely see you. You scared
like
me.
I did that right there. I see you, Jordan Hawkins.
And that's also a guy I would have wanted you to name. As much love as we want to show Ryan Dunn, I feel like he was one of the obvious ones.
Yeah.
But the Magic schedule is difficult after having somewhat of an easy schedule to start. They got the Mavericks tomorrow. They got OKC, Indiana, the Pelicans, the Wizards, the Hornets. That's a good stretch that they can win some games. But then you get Pacers. Then the super unfortunate part for me is the NBA Cup stuff. Like Paolo's going to miss almost the entirety of the thing. I just don't think they're going to really compete for the Cup championship without Paolo.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to be a team that can like potentially win it.
Yeah.
Because they got the defense and then the stars.
And then they got the guys that want that bag.
Oh, yeah,
You think Anthony Black don't want an extra little $500,000? Jet Howard, Tristan Da Silva.
I don't know. You gotta want that shit more than Bron.
Bron,
You gotta want that shit more than Bron.
Bron don't want that shit no more.
Look on that in-season tournament.
Bron wanted to be the first ever in case this shit means something.
Yes, he wants to have the name of the trophy be after him when he's done. And him winning the in-season tournament MVP, the LeBron James MVP, because they already got every other award name. They're not going to change the name for Bron.
Shit.
Yeah, Bill Russell, get to the back sheet. It's Bron.
I don't know, man. Bron James, man. Think about this, man. I want y'all to just really, I damn near want y'all to close your eyes and just think about this.
I can't close my eyes. I don't trust people.
You could trust me.
I know.
But
him,
LeBron,
we had shit when he come to the house.
LeBron, I don't blame you. Them fingers can hide some shit too. LeBron James is in the NBA, right? He's been in the NBA for how many years?
21 years.
22.
Okay.
Both Brons are in the NBA right now.
He has a son that is in the NBA.
And Bronny checked in last night too.
That's
because
they was getting that work in. $7.9 million is what Bronny's contract is. We've seen players in history who I think would have paid to have their son in the NBA. He is getting paid to be in the NBA, and they're on the same team.
It's a very tradable contract too, just in case.
I don't think Rich Paul wins.
No, obviously.
Rich Paul.
Him and that one brother that ain't played in 2 years.
What happens? What happens after Bron is gone? That's my question to you. Do you think the Lakers keep loyalty and let that contract? Just hypothetically speaking,
Because it's 2 years, right?
no, it's 4.
Oh, it's a full 4.
Yeah, it's 4. You think?
I don't think they hold him dearly if LeBron.
But just put this in perspective. Hypothetically, we know this ain't gonna happen, but hypothetically, LeBron retired at the end of this year. We know it ain't happening. It's hypothetical. That's 3 years remaining on the contract. Or let's just say he retires after next year. 2 years remaining on the contract. He just said it's a tradable contract. Do you think you think they would be loyal to LeBron, or immediately once he retires and has nothing to do with that team, it's like, oh yeah, we could pop him off. Not saying that he's like, you can add him to the trade because nobody's gonna be.
Him and Jared
Nobody
Vanderbilt.
wanted 1-for-1 for Bron.
Exactly, but yeah, him and Jared Vanderbilt helps get you.
That's about $18 million in
Cam
cap
Johnson or some shit like that, who will probably be on a different team.
There is
way
a
back.
part of me that's like they do just honor it and they just kind of let it ride out.
Would you trade Bronny for Cam Johnson right now?
Yes.
Okay. Even all the stuff he means to the organization?
Knowing what he can do to LeBron, you would do that?
Taking out that fact.
No, that's a part of it.
No, I can't do it.
Okay.
I can't.
That's crazy.
But
that's not the wrong answer.
I don't
but
have no
damn.
attachment. But yes, for LeBron James, it means everything.
You doing whatever he says, right?
Probably.
Okay.
If I'm the
What if
Lakers
he's the
organization.
missing piece for it all?
We talked about it in our group chat
I think that,
yesterday, and Flex was like, LeBron could probably get you in the league. And it made me think like, but no, it's a real shit. It made me start to think that he has another son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bryce?
Is this not done?
No.
Like, Bryce, you think Bryce get into the league? Not,
I have no
nothing
idea.
off of his play.
Yeah.
Oh,
You ain't know too much about
I
Bron.
still don't know much about Bron.
Yeah, most likely
points,
he's
baby.
getting to the league.
He's getting to the league.
Bryce is what year in high school?
I'm not sure. Sophomore at the league.
He's a senior, so
he got 2 more
and
years.
Bron signed a 2-year
He's a
deal.
senior?
So
Okay,
2
hell
years.
yeah.
So Bron signed a 2-year deal.
But what if he get drafted to the Lakers?
that would be much because even though I didn't know much about Bronny, I knew he was one of the top-rated guys or a top-ish rated guy. I don't know shit about Bryce. Is he rated at all?
They
yeah,
ain't
he
saying
is.
Bryce better than
But
Bronny.
Only thing
People just say shit.
only thing
I
I don't
think
know
they be talking
about.
about the size too. Like he's
has
not
like
no
the-
6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he has the
He's
NBA
bigger.
body.
He's definitely ranked. I'm just trying to see like
Like,
what
does he
his-
have any? Well, he's gonna have D1 college
Okay,
buzz because
so-
he's Bron's son. But
He is
see, I don't know. They saying he's
yes, he's 4-star,
ESPN.
and I think it says he is third. I got him right here at 39. He's 39
In the country?
out of the top 50 of his class. Yeah,
Okay.
in the country.
That's
No. I'm sorry.
That's California.
He's the 39th ranked small forward in his class.
Okay.
And the 2 offers that he has
Ohio State.
are Ohio State and Duquesne.
You know what's crazy? I just said that because
no. I mean, Ohio State
Yeah, it's
also
Ohio
gave
State.
Bronny and they They probably would have been the place LeBron went to.
But I'm gonna go off ESPN. As much as I love ESPN,
There's a big difference between Ohio State and Duke.
As much as I love ESPN, there's another place that sometimes is a little bit more updated. So yeah, he has interest from USC as well.
Okay,
that makes sense.
keep it alive.
They haven't offered him, but there's interest there.
Guess we'll see.
Here's a little scouting report, real quick. Bryce James is the son of LeBron James, and that means, like the older brother, Bronny, he's under the microscope. Bryce needs to be, first of all, just scouting guys. Don't start your scouting report off telling me that he's LeBron James' son. Bryce needs to be given time and space to run his own race. He may not be the dynamic athlete or playmaker some expect at first, but he is a fundamentally sound player with solid perimeter size and a good early skill set. He possesses clear shooting potential with naturally soft touch, compact release, and the ability to make both threes. And pull-ups. His left hand is advanced for his age, and he is also a good early understanding of the game. Physically, he has a solid build for an underclassman, but he is still just growing into his body. Yeah, this was in 2023, so probably a lot different now.
How tall is he? Is it listed there?
They have him listed right now at 6'4", 190.
Okay. That's NBA size. Bigger than Bronny for sure.
So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. High school is also different because shit is so gradual. Like, that was a scouting report from 2023. When they update that to 2024, it could be a whole different thing. Bryce might be 6'6". Like, high school is just a whole different thing, man.
You can grow significant. You can grow
fast.
3 inches in the summer,
and your game can grow. Even if you stay the same height, you like guys in high school. Things
he's
click
6'6".
differently.
As of March 2024, he's 6'6".
Okay.
Only weighs 180, so he lost 10 pounds.
That don't sound great.
They has be guesstimating. That's why. He looks about $150.
I got a couple more pieces of news. This is from Joel Embiid. When I see people saying he doesn't want to play, I've done so much for this effing city myself. I've done so much for the city, putting myself at risk for people to say that. I do think it's bullshit. Like that dude, he's not here, Marcus. I've done way too much for this fucking city to be treated like this.
This was crazy because I've never heard him talk like this about Philly. And it was kind of like, it seemed like he was, in a way it felt like he was preparing to leave. I was like, damn, he being that bold. But like, obviously I don't think he is going to leave, but I think he's just expressing his emotions since Philly also expresses their emotions towards him and all of their players. Whenever you have a bad game, they'll boo you. Like, you're going to see it all in the paper and on the news. So, I mean, he's just expressing how he feels.
Is there an organization with a fan base who wouldn't express themselves with as much time as he's missed? And he can't control the time, I'm just saying. I don't know a fan base that would just have not said anything.
Nah, I think probably. But I think Philly is also one of those cities where they're known to be harsh towards their stars if they not.
They are, and I don't think they've been harsh to him.
I just think it was the other side. He was talking about it, just like players, they don't want to be hurt. Like, he wants to probably be out there as much as everybody else wants him to. It's just he can't. And y'all, fans and just people in general, like, they put it on people like they want to get hurt.
I don't think he's referring to the fans themselves. He's referring to the writers. He mentioned the name Marcus. That's one of the writers that put together this big piece. And I remember reading one last week where it got way too personal, where it went outside of basketball, talking about the naming of his son and him being named after his brother who passed away, and so would be disappointed to see. Like, it just got way too personal. So I don't think I think Joel Embiid playing for Philly for 10+ years understands that when we play bad, we will get booed. It's more like these people are writing ridiculous pieces about me, knowing damn well that if it was my choice, I would play every single game, but my body just doesn't allow me to do that.
If I'm not mistaken, because I think that's a big point of it, but if I'm not mistaken, when I watched it, because I watched this, I believe he said something about fans, though.
Oh, he did?
I believe I did hear him say fans, but I do think a lot of it is the writing. Because he when he said the Marcus dude, he actually pointed in his direction of like where he would probably usually stands or whatever. Then that's when he was like, he's not here. And that's when I was like, oh shit, I wish Marcus was there. But I'm kind of in agreement with Joel Embiid. I'm kind of in agreement with like the fan base. I think this comes with the territory of being a player who misses significant time. I'm also on his side, though, because like Mike just said again, I just don't think Joel Embiid wants to have torn meniscuses and all of these different things. You just can't convince me. This used to be the way I felt about Derrick Rose, where like I remember the city turned on Derrick Rose, and I used to just be like, do y'all really think Derrick Rose wants to sit on a bench in a suit and watch people play a game he gave his life to? Like people are so fucking stupid to me. Yeah. People are literally stupid. And that's why I think we need to get to the world where we need to start, like, we need to get on people's ass. We need to make people uncomfortable with speaking on certain things, because it blows my mind when people do walk around and think players don't want to play basketball. Bro, and I can't speak for every player. Maybe so there is a lazy-ass player. I can hear,
like, the animosity in your voice when you're talking about this. Derrick Rose time period when people would post nothing but memes about him getting hurt. That used to piss me off.
I used to get into it with people that went to school with us. Like, are you a dickhead? I will slap you.
I just don't be getting it. Like, and then like I've never played at no crazy high level, but like as a person that likes to play basketball, getting hurt is the worst.
It's the worst shit.
Like when I mess my knee up, and it's like that's more than just the basketball. That's me walking around.
It carries over.
Outside of that's me going to school and my knee messed up.
And it's always and a lot of the times where I was getting into it with people, they was always the least athletic people talking anyway. These always people that was never on a sports team, that couldn't make the team, and all these people with these damn opinions. And that be the thing, like, on the other half of this shit don't mean much to us as it do to y'all. Like you said, if I'm Joel Embiid and I got a torn ACL, I got to deal with all of the other shit you don't see. To you, this is just a game on a Thursday night where you just hoping we win. To me, I got to go back to the crib with a torn meniscus.
I got to go through months and months of rehab.
That you don't see. Again, you're not seeing this. You don't see that part of it. You don't see that part of it. And you just say, these be the motherfuckers that call off work when nothing wrong with them.
So 2K drop.
I found it. This is what Marcus wrote. At least one of the clip
What is Marcus's name?
Marcus Hayes. Joel Embiid
no relation to gold.
Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son Arthur as a major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great, to leave a legacy for his boy, named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Joel Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. Well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up to work. Embiid has been great at just the opposite. Now in this 11th season, he consistently has been in poor conditioning. His poor conditioning apparently seems to have delayed his debut season, yada, yada, yada.
That's nasty.
So starting off, hey, you named your son after your brother that passed away, and you want to show him that you're great? Well, go to fucking work. And that just feels, that's nasty.
Yeah.
That's nasty writing.
That's nasty writing.
Who is employing him?
I don't know.
That's disgusting. I don't even know how you could even, like, feel comfortable amongst yourself to write that and, like, push it out to the public.
His publicist, or what's the word I'm looking for? The person that goes through all of the writing.
The editor.
Editor was like, you know what? Send it. That's crazy. This is not just one person's opinion. Someone had to look over this and say this was the one. Put that out there. So I can understand that level of frustration. I can understand the fans' frustration of wanting Joel Embiid to play basketball, but at the end of the day, it's only so much a person can do.
Yeah. If he could physically play, I'm pretty sure he would love to be out there.
These dudes work so damn hard to get to this level.
Yeah.
And they're not just going to be like, I got my money, I don't want to do this anymore. That's just not the way it is.
If that's the case, they would just retire.
Yeah.
That's what I talked about last episode when Paolo got emotional. You put in your entire life to it. And we know people that play basketball that are really good and put their entire life into it and don't really get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't get to the NBA. And then you get to the NBA and then you got to put in even more work to be, it's very. How many people do y'all think is like super top tier of just talent? It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Nobody's just like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Not top tier. I feel like some dudes make it based off that talent.
People make it off of talent.
But to
be
one of
a
the
top
best
tier,
MVP,
yeah. Like we see a lot of people make it with talent, and then we see them fizzle out, or it goes from this guy used to be
Joel Embiid. Actually, I want to watch this entire interview because people are tweeting at me more quotes from it. I've broken my face twice. I've come back early with the risk of losing my vision.
Yes, he had.
So I guess he went on for quite a bit talking about his sacrifices that he's made, and I want to go watch that a little bit.
Yeah, he was passionate, man. He was passionate. Because
the team sucks right now. Oh my God. And I did the rankings of my least watched teams going into the season. Philly is at the bottom so far to start off. They are bad watch, man.
Every time I tune in, usually too, they're just down.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for
Maxey
Embiid
leading the
and
league in
PG to
minutes.
whenever they decide to come
And
back.
shot attempts? Minutes and shot attempts?
Yep.
Then they just lose to the Pistons.
Yeah,
and then the Pistons lost by a
first
gazillion to the Knicks
Yep.
the 2 nights later.
So
That's tough. Here's some more news. Michael Porter Jr. admits that Michael Porter Jr.
Be
admits
clear, boy.
that this could be the last dance for the Nuggets core. If we don't win it this year, we all know they might have to break it up.
I saw this, and I like the
self-awareness.
the self-awareness. I do like the self-awareness. And
They lost another game last night.
they
right
lost
after
another
this.
game. I don't know, man.
This quote was crazy because
that was a bad.
this team.
One of the worst losses on the season.
Their win's been bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy to say, but you're right.
Because the one against what was that?
The
The
Nets.
Nets.
The Nets with
the
overtime.
the Raptors.
Oh,
or the Nets?
back-to-back
Yeah.
on back-to-back overtimes.
Yeah, and this one, I don't think you were probably up 9 with probably maybe 3 minutes left,
Yeah.
and you kind of blew that lead. And I seen that tweet you were talking about with Russell. He's like, everything good is kind of just being taken away. And that's exactly what I thought because he got that rebound. And I'm like, bro, just
Jokic
make a
is
play,
right there.
make a play. And
Jokic
he just
is
turned
right
it
there.
over.
Once
He tried to fight it too. He was like, no, that's off him. The
He
replay,
did.
it was clearly
off Russell. But
I'm like, come on, man.
it just be so crazy to watch a guy who is clearly not what he used to be, but still has such an athletic gift that he can be impactful, but he wipes away his impact immediately. And it's kind of like, I know this ain't nothing new, but it's still so mind-blowing to see it consistently and in real time. He goes and makes an incredible offensive rebound that could be a play that we reference in a win if he doesn't turn it over. And how does he turn it over? By trying to do too much when you have Jokic right behind you.
There was the time, it was around 3 minutes still or whatever, and Jokic inbounded the ball to Russell, but he had stopped him from picking it up in time or whatever because he wanted the clock to keep running.
Yeah.
You seen that part? I
Yeah.
thought that was super funny because Russell was really about to pick it up. He kind of like,
Right.
he kind of
Pushed
grabbed him to pull him. He's like, no, let it run. But that's part of like,
He be on goal mode.
they just want to get a win. Like he's trying to do whatever he can to really like install his team to victories, but it's so hard when it's no spacing. I mean, even the game-winning shot was, the three, not that one. I'm talking about the Christian Bond layup into like heavy traffic. That was just because they don't have space. And they know what they're going to do. They're all driving to the rim. And, I mean, MPJ is going to start picking it up. But other than that, there's no spacing on this team.
Do y'all think it takes that long?
For what?
Michael Porter Jr. said, if we don't win
end
it
of
this year, I'm looking at the team, I'm looking at the production, the product of them, and I'm asking myself,
Is it gonna happen in
Can it
February?
get that? Can it get
I
that?
don't
late?
know.
It's hard to find. I've been working on this for some time, trying to find out exactly what you can do when you're trying to keep the Jokic timeline alive, but B, you don't have any tradable first round picks until 2030. So it's like, yeah, people will be interested in Jamal Murray if he became available or Michael Porter Jr., but you're not getting the value back to reconstruct your team.
Who the hell wants Jamal Murray right now?
Oh, I don't know. I mean that in the sense that there's no such thing as an untradeable contract.
Absolutely. I agree with that to a T.
But
It'd
The
be
point
weird to
guard
see-
position just so loaded. I was thinking of like that.
I was thinking about
myself.
Dame stuff like that too.
Yeah, it'd be weird to see a team like you said they don't have any tradable first round picks. It'd be like
So you glossed over what he just said. No,
No.
matter of fact,
We
do
gonna
that,
get to-
because
we
we gonna
gonna
get to them. Yeah.
yeah.
So-
Where are they picks going? Where did they trade all these picks?
Don't ask me.
What you mean? Who
The Nuggets.
Well, they had got Aaron Gordon, they had got KCP. Like they
Oh,
had
yeah,
they went and
did
got
those.
guys. So
yeah, they did.
I know it sounds crazy because usually when you give up all those picks, you went and got Kevin Durant or Paul
Yeah.
George.
But they made some small trade.
Yeah, I can't remember all of them,
Yeah.
but they made moves.
Some of these are to the Thunder somehow, 'cause of course.
the Thunder just,
They just got every pick in the
the
world.
Thunder just going.
The Thunder be like this.
Give me that first.
We see you got 2 picks 8 years from now.
So the 2025 was traded in the Aaron Gordon deal. So that makes sense. They have 2026, but because of the stifling rule, they can't trade it right now.
Yeah.
They would have to trade it on draft night. The other trade was traded to get Peyton Watson.
Wow.
I guess they traded the future to get one for Peyton
Okay.
Watson.
They also did some shit like that with Holmes. Not that they gave up a pick, but they traded on draft night to get Holmes too. Remember they traded back or something?
Here's the 2029.
They traded up with the Suns, who didn't get Ryan Dunn.
They traded the rights to this. And these are like have some type of protections, yada, yada, yada. But because of the protections, it's hard to even dice them up. Traded for the rights to get Hunter Tyson, who I saw check into the game yesterday. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. He's finally getting some PT. Didn't go great. But then, yeah, that's it. They don't even really have seconds either because they traded multiple seconds to get our guy DaRon Holmes, who actually hasn't been able to play yet.
They gave about 3 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's
one of those seconds was who? Oh, no, that doesn't make sense. The Ryan Dunn pick wasn't originally the Suns pick. Did they draft Ryan Dunn and trade him for DaRon Holmes?
I can't remember if they drafted him, but those 2 teams traded to get each other's picks.
That sound right.
No. They didn't draft Ryan Dunn because they drafted.
No. The Denver Nuggets drafted Ryan Dunn at 28th. Then they traded him with Kevin McCullers Jr., a 2026 second, a 2031 second, and another second-round pick for DaRon Holmes.
How did they trade? That's probably the aftermath of the trade because you remember draft night.
They traded the 2024 that turned into Kevin McCullers.
Kevin McCullers is on the Knicks.
That he must have got traded again. This is from Basketball Reference.
Because I remember when the trade was going down, DaRon Holmes was picked before Ryan Dunn. So that might just be the completion of it. But however, they was a part of each other thing.
Yeah. Either way, let's hear a word from our sponsor, then we'll get into buying or selling some starts to the NBA season.
Why should you bet with Caesars Sportsbook? 2 words, Caesars Rewards. Every bet brings you closer to the type of benefits only Caesars can offer. Hotel stays, VIP experiences, sports and concert tickets, and more. It's not just an app, it's an empire.
All right, man. A little bit over a week into the season. Teams have played, 5 to 6 games each?
Yep.
Talk to me, boys. Give me some stuff that have surprised y'all.
You want to go first?
Yeah. One of the first things that's kind of like really standing out this season.
Darrick cemented himself as a person to go first.
He really is.
Anytime I say, you wanted to go first?
But Tyrese Haliburton just play in general, like he hasn't been scoring the ball at all, and it's kind of been affecting the team because we know he's the driving force of the engine. Are y'all thinking that's how it's going to go, or he's going to pick it up?
We talked about this like an episode or 2 ago, and nothing changed.
Yeah.
Even last night, 8 shot attempts, one of them being a half-court heave, a few of them being late in the shot clocks. It ain't look pretty. The Pacers, what'd you say on Twitter, Pete? I forget. Was it the Bucks? You say they on the 5-game no watch streak.
Yeah.
That's how the fuck I feel about the Pacers right now.
Which is crazy because like last year they were one of the most watchable teams.
I put them before the season started as in the A tier of watchability
because they were so fun offensively. But
and
now
it's
their main offensive weapon isn't being the weapon that you're accustomed to seeing them be.
And they not doing shit defensively. You let the Pelicans, who missing 3 starters, score 60, almost 70 points in the second half.
I like how Benedict Mathurin is just like, I'll shoot it.
Yeah.
And he's been taking this guy. He's been getting like 20 points. It's like, okay, that's been a bright spot for them, at least with Tyrese taking a back seat.
And he probably won't last until February.
Turned the ball over a bunch. I don't know what to make of the Pacers, to be honest with you. I don't, because they're not a horrible team by any standard. What are they, 2-4?
They beat the Celtics.
They did beat the Celtics.
Yeah, shout out to Pascal because
big shots down the stretch.
they tried to get that game up.
Yes, they damn it was like handing it to the Celtics.
Yeah,
they are
2-4 now. Yeah,
2-4. They're on a 3-game suspension for me.
If he don't hit that shot, we having a whole different conversation because that's a blown lead. That's now a few games in a row that you done lost.
I thought when they went to OT, I was like, oh, this is GG's. You don't want to get a Celtics extra 5 minutes. They finna.
Because we were on playback, not watching that game, but keeping track of the score. And somebody was like, we was joking, like, oh, here come the Celtics. It was a 20-point game. And
bro, that game was so crazy because it's like the Celtics, they just knew they just had it. Pacers looked scared to make any type of play. I think, who was it that, maybe Andrew Nemar? No, Tyrese Haliburton hit a mid-range shot to give them a little bit more cushion, but like, man, they look scared. They look at deer in the headlights when the Celtics were coming down that stretch.
Tatum was phenomenal in that game, bro.
Yeah.
That was like, he was just in takeover mode.
I hate it, but they're looking 2021 Atlanta Hawks-ish.
Oh, snap.
Coming off the conference finals and then just.
Almost like that.
But at least Trae Young was still kind of like the Trae Young we seen, though.
Sure. It was John Collins that fell off more than anything.
But
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Am I buying or I would expect Tyrese to play better than this, but I don't know if I would
Does he get
expect him
back
to make an
all-star level?
Also would be tough because LaMelo's playing his ass off. So, like, I'm thinking LaMelo for me is a priority. If he continues to play like this and he stays up, he's going to be an all-star lock.
That guard position is definitely tough, too.
Trey
You're going to have
Maxey's probably still going to make it.
Donovan
Maxey's
Mitchell.
still playing good.
Jalen Brunson.
Garland is also playing really good, too.
Cam Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
At this point. LaMelo Ball, Trae Young.
Hey, at this point?
Maxey.
At this point, you said?
Yeah.
Because we can talk about my buy or sell.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Dennis Schroder.
Oh, bro.
I
got him somewhere on my list, too.
You said at this point.
I was looking at some of his stats or whatever. I was like, bro, Dennis Schroder hit 22 threes already?
Yeah.
Like, this is a dude when he was on our Lakers team, like, we wanted him to shoot. And now he's shooting like 50%.
He's giving you 22, 8, and 3.
He's been amazing.
On 50, 50, 87.
How many? Because his steals have been kind of crazy, too. I forget what the number is.
1.2.
1.2. I thought it was higher than that.
Yeah, 1.2.
Okay.
My buy or sell is not necessarily Dennis Schroder because obviously we will think that this would tick down a little bit, but it's the competitiveness of the Nets because remember coming to the season, you were
locked the
high
over
on the Nets with the wins. You was putting them
pretty low. I had
and I was somewhere in between y'all where you was the difference between me and you was I didn't think they was gonna get that many wins, but you was calling them the worst team in basketball.
Yeah,
I never thought that they would be worse than like the Wizards
or the Pistons.
I had them as the 14. I had them at the 14th seed.
I didn't think the Pistons would be this bad either.
I didn't.
I'm gonna get to them. Trust. But I had them as the 14th seed. Yeah, above the Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
Oh, you had them above the Wizards.
Yeah.
Maybe I just was taking your hyperbolic statement of worst team in basketball too much.
They've been way better than I anticipated. Obviously, at 3-3. Eventually, they got to pull the rug. It's still too early for that. But like when this is the only year they have their own first-round pick. This is the only year where you control your destiny. I would assume that again, this is a great story and everything, but they don't want to be a play-in team this season.
Absolutely. Their fans are getting a little pissed off too. They're like, we finally on our first round.
I got
pick.
multiple tweets saying, "Kenny, tell the Bulls to do something. We don't want to win this year."
Yeah, they like, we finally got our own first round pick and we trying to win games. But I think that's still my question though, like, because you always say it, you want to suck good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And could they find a way to, like, against the
Their
Nuggets?
Denver Nuggets loss is a good loss.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the loss. I'm like, I love that, man. I love that. You gave them everything you could. And I was actually a little upset because they drew up a play where they got Dorian Finney-Smith 1 and 5.
He was
wide
1 and 5 from 3 before that shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what was that? But
Even
then I'm
last
like,
night,
oh,
the Bulls fought all the way back into that game, and then they kept playing drop coverage against Cam, and Cam hit a logo 3. I'm sure y'all saw that on Twitter, but just kept pulling up for long 2/3-pointers, and it felt like they wanted us to take that game from them, but Cam had a different thing in mind because Schroder didn't have a great game as far as scoring goes. I think he was 13, 7 and 7, 3 steals, and then they generated a ton of threes. They were just bricking them all second half, and unfortunately the Bulls also bricked those threes too. But yeah, eventually the rug is going to have to come out from underneath them.
What does that mean? Are you talking about like just trading Dennis Schroder?
Just trading the guy, Schroder.
Dorian Finney-Smith.
At this point, if he continues this, I don't think he's going to average 22, let's be real.
Yeah.
But
Someone's
you
gonna
might
want
get a
him.
first for Dennis Schroder
could.
production right now.
A team like the Denver Nuggets should be looking at Dennis Schroder
I
and
agree.
being like,
they don't
we
have the
can
first
use
round
that.
pick to give,
Yeah.
but I do think because of how everything is shaping up right now in the league,
But is it fool's gold?
Teams
because
can be panicky.
Dennis Schroder just has like the ultimate green light. And
No,
he's
because
playing
Dennis
in the
Schroder's
strike.
always
really-
been a
he's a
really
good
good
hooper.
big.
He's always been a
He's
always a
actually like the
basketball player.
captain of the team, which is crazy.
You're never.
Come on, now you didn't see the
Well,
clip
I
where he
can-
said who was talking
To
that
Ben
stuff
Simmons?
about Ben.
I can honestly
Real
see him
shit,
being
though.
a leader of that
That's
team.
a real
he
teammate,
does
man.
have a leadership type point guard role. Like
Yeah.
he does have that vibe to him.
Yeah, for sure.
What did he say to Kyrie?
Oh yeah.
Kyrie said, "Don't call me that."
Oh,
He said, "What you talking about?"
He said, "What you talking about?" He was so confused.
he was baffled.
We should make a skit of that. He was like, "Kyrie, look, it's me. I said that. It's me. It wasn't Luke Kennard. It's me." Kyrie was like, "I don't care. Don't call me that." Then the shooter was like,
I wonder, is Kyrie like that with everyone? I wonder if he is.
Who knows? Who knows?
You're just going to have to see when you meet him. You're going to have to find out.
Are y'all? don't find out. Don't find out. Don't ruin that relationship.
He comes on this couch.
I rock with Curry. I think 2 years in a row at All-Star, I've been the only one to ask him real basketball questions. So I think we kind of forming a relationship.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him his favorite jelly bean flavor next time we talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy the Dennis Schroder. At least keeps this up.
Why the hell are you buying Dennis Schroder?
At least the production.
Nothing about what I said was. I was
Oh yeah,
talking about the net.
He said the competitive.
I'm buying Darrick's lock. I'm selling them being that good though. That makes sense.
Yeah, I still think they're gonna get over 20 wins, but that's still you still got the same lottery odds.
No. Yeah, I'm just saying competitive.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking wins and losses, but like KB said, the Nets
Because in order to get that 14.5, they need to be a bottom 3 team in the entire league. They catching up to the Jazz is not going to be something you can do. They might not win a single game this whole season. At this rate, because of the injuries in Toronto, they are. Masai Ujiri was on the broadcast against the Lakers like, yeah, we love Jakob Poeltl because he's a guy that we could have on the team when we're trying to win in a season like this where we're not trying to. I'm like, damn, you said that on the broadcast game?
Jakob Poeltl
you might get fined for that.
He's the exact person who told us that that's what they was on.
Yeah. And like Detroit being as bad as they are. So if you want to be bottom 3, you got to work a little bit for it.
Let's
these
talk
other
about
teams.
Detroit. You had a buy or sell with them or something? How we infusing them in this conversation?
They are the worst fourth quarter team in basketball by a wide margin, where every single game except for the last game against the Knicks, they've either had the lead going into the fourth quarter or have only been down by like 3 points. And they've lost every single one of these games. And it's like, it's the same shit, just a different day with them. Mm-hmm. And I was one of the people that thought that just the change of getting Monty Williams out of there, because Monty was doing so many crazy things, running 4 5-man bench units when the last 2 dudes, 3 of the last 2 dudes aren't even in the league anymore. Like just having a guy that wouldn't do that, having a guy to empower, because right now Cade and Jaden Ivey are sharing the court more than any time before, allowing them to do their parts. Tobias Harris being on the team, just having veterans will just change their trajectory. And here we are, year 6 of a rebuild, and they look just as bad as they did last year when they won 14 games.
I mean, yeah, for me personally, if there's no change by the end of the year, you got to reset the rebuild essentially. Someone's had to change.
How do you do that?
How do you even go
crazy.
about that?
But
like, what do you trade Cade? You got to get some more draft
you've
compensation.
had the same core for like three years, and we've been bottom of the league, and there has been not even like a visual like growth or development besides like Cade, like players.
Cade and Jaden Ivey look pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You don't trade Cade, Mike, but you might have to trade Jaden Ivey, and you might be getting the best version of him.
Is this their front office's first year? Like this offseason was their first offseason? Am I tripping with that?
Might have been the one before.
Okay.
Who did they draft? Min Thompson might have been the first year.
Okay.
With Langdon.
Well, even with that, a lot of the people on their team are not their products. They're not the people that they've drafted. And when you see a team come in with new management or new ownership, usually they clean house. They give it a year or so.
I get what you're saying,
and then
KB,
they do that.
The previous regime ain't really. They gave them something. You got
they didn't leave
Cade,
with a bunch of
you got
force.
Duran, you got Ivy.
But I mean, in paper, yes. But if the team has won 15 games in a year and a half, then those pieces might not just be as good as we expect them to be.
That's what I'm saying. You might have to trade Jaden Ivey. But I also think that they just drafted Ron Holland. I'm
not mad at that.
Why?
Because
you just drafted Min Thompson the year before.
That's what makes it bad. Is Min Thompson was drafted the year before. It's very similar product.
Get well soon,
literally
man.
can't shoot.
No, Asar. I'm sorry.
Asar.
Asar Thompson. We can't make that mistake.
Yeah.
Twitter can make that
Sorry,
mistake.
guys.
We cannot make that mistake. Asar Thompson.
I just had to trade Asar in my league.
Sorry to hear that, man. I'm in this our second league.
I don't want you to talk to me about that league because you are crazy as the commissioner. Letting Paolo Banchero and Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama was the first draft pick in the entire draft, and he got traded.
2 days into the draft.
And then one of the guys he got back didn't even play a game. He traded Jalen Green immediately.
He did.
So we just doing whatever the hell we want in our league. It don't even got to be. It just trade. Just trade. But anyway, I'm in agreement with you. But I think the new regime also has to take some accountability. If nothing changes, you have the same exact situation happening. Then you got to look at the 2 coaches you just hired because Monty Williams was their hire too if they started last year because he only lasted 1 year. And then you just got JB Bickerstaff who was telling people that they can't wear hats or jewelry on the sidelines. So like Okay.
Feels like something you would tell to like a high school,
team,
a high
yeah.
school team.
That is so.
The
weird.
average age is about a high school.
Hey, lose the
student.
earrings, Cade.
but these dudes ain't making high school money.
Maybe that's the
I
problem.
just couldn't imagine telling a group of grown men you can't wear your jewelry.
You can't wear headphones.
So no, this is Trajan Langdon's first.
It is.
This was his first offseason.
Okay.
They hired him in July, so really just one off. So he didn't draft Asar.
He didn't hire Monty.
He didn't hire Monty. Shout out to Monty though. So this is his first real offseason.
Okay. So first, second, he's got some work to do, and unfortunately, they are going to have to make some decisions that some of us are going to look at and say, "Dang, you doing that? Like, dang, you trading Jaden Ivey? He just had his best year." Or, "Man, I like Jalen Duren. Why y'all ain't keeping him?" But that's going to be the reason why. It's not because they think these players ain't good, but you're just going to have to do something. And there's no value anywhere else. There's no value in Tobias Harris. There's no value in some of your other draft picks because Asar ain't played. Ron Holland is going to be kind of a project guy. And I'm not mad at Ron Holland because when they initially drafted him, I was like, okay. But then I started to remember, like, yeah, y'all got Asar, and y'all have Ivy, and y'all have Cade.
They have Fred Vinson now.
Fred Vinson must ain't been working with him yet because I think Ron Holland is, like, shooting 11% from three right now. So if you could correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know. I forgot how he shot it last night, but I think he made 1 out of maybe 15 threes or something like that.
It's less than 11% now.
So he shot more threes last night. So he's
0 for 2 last night.
Okay, so he's now one of what, like 14 or 15 from three?
9%.
9% from three.
9% from three.
So yeah, Vincent. What's his first name? Fred Vincent.
Fred Vinson.
Fred Vincent. I know you probably work on a salary, so yeah, we're gonna have to. You work overtime. You're gonna be working overtime. But yeah, it's just something where, and again, I wasn't expecting a big jump, but I expected them to be. You got to give your fan base something. I was liking the competitiveness in the first 3 or so games, but it's time to start putting some wins in a column, even if it ain't 40 or anything crazy. But yeah, man, this team can't come back and win 3 more games than last year.
It's so hard. I mean, this is not a team that I've dived into a lot this year as far as like being able to watch full 48-minute games. But on paper, Cade Cunningham looks pretty good. The problem with Cade
turns the ball over.
is he turned the ball over too fucking much. Him, LaMelo, all of these dudes turn the ball over all the younger point guard and the old-ass point guard and James Harden. All these dudes turn the ball over so much, bro. Cade is averaging 25, 7, and 6. 5 turnovers to his 7 assists. It's just
That's insane.
that's crazy, bro. How you average 7 assists and your assist and turnover ratio is 1 point something?
Well, James Harden said my usage rate is extremely high, so the turnovers are going to come with the territory. He said, but
So he's excusing 7 turnovers a game.
Yeah, and he said, well,
Hey,
but also
and
he
some
said
players-
some of the passes I do try to force, I
does.
can work on that.
He does.
But other than that, he said,
I don't think
We know James Harden. It comes with James
I
Harden
don't
at this
think his
point.
turnovers is going to be too much of a problem the further we get into the season because, yes, I've seen him do that. Like, I've watched every Clipper game. He does some passes where I'm like, come on, James.
Yeah.
Even if that wasn't a turnover, Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be upstairs in the hospital.
He loved that, like,
No, he definitely tried
Yes.
to kill Derrick Jones Jr. multiple times.
It's like, why? Like, he ain't, even if he caught that, where was he going to go?
he loved that lob pass. Like, when it's Zubac on the road, he loved that lob pass over the top to, like, try to get him when they trap him. And he'd be like,
come
bro,
on,
that's
bro.
a crazy pass to make sometimes.
I've seen him try to make full court bounce passes like we're playing 2K.
And when it worked, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
But
You know?
yeah.
He's also losing the ball a lot because he also don't feel like he can trust anybody else to kind of have the ball more than 3 seconds on the floor.
But you know what? James Harden has always been in the elite class of turnovers, but his team is always towards the bottom of total turnovers.
Because it's
He's
all
the
him.
only person
He's the only
doing it.
person, yeah.
And I'm at to see so far this season. Okay, never mind. They're in the bottom 5 in
because
turnovers
Jaden
per
Ivey
game.
probably turned him over too. He out of control at
I'm
times.
talking about James Harden and the Clippers.
Oh.
But the Detroit Pistons have the second most turnovers per game this season, and then the Clippers are at 25th.
You said bottom 5, and then they don't turn it over much.
I mean,
right?
no,
do.
they do.
Oh, they do turn it
The
over?
top teams are going to be the ones that don't turn it over.
What are the
I
top
was-
5 teams in turnovers per game? The least amount of turnovers.
the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Celtics are number 3.
OKC.
Oh, he's number 5.
Cavaliers.
Not in the top 5.
The Lakers.
Not in the
no,
top
they
5.
it's another team we're forgetting.
This team averages less than 10 turnovers per game. The only team in the league to have that.
Ooh.
Savor the possession.
Denver Nuggets.
No.
Is it the Bass?
No.
No, they turn up. You know Luka.
I'm sorry. They're number 2.
That's
not the team I'm talking about. Okay. But they are number
maybe
2.
the James Harden
It's
effect.
the James
where
Harden.
Yeah, that's all I was saying.
He's
He
the only
savors the
person.
possession. He might dribble the whole possession.
There's a team that I saw like
out
a couple
west.
days ago.
It's the one I'm thinking about.
The
Y'all got
Suns?
2 teams left. Nuh-uh.
They savor the possession.
Mm-hmm. Great coach. Breakout team last season.
The Kings.
Nope.
That won a breakout season last
The
year.
Rockets. The
Oh,
Rockets.
Hey,
yeah.
this
Less
is one
than
of my
10 per.
favorite stats. I keep bringing up my league, but I was looking at like the league stats, whatever, and turnovers is the best when you have like you're near the top in terms of you don't turn that ball over. It's a good feeling.
The
to
extra
have.
possessions matter. And then the team y'all missed was the Miami Heat, who were at number 4.
Oh,
That's a
I
little
definitely-
surprising at them.
That makes sense because they do play like that slow style and they kind of get into the half court.
Mm-hmm.
So the things that the young teams, it makes sense that they do turn the ball over a lot. Because if I'm a young team, why would I not play fast?
But that's the thing
I
that
just-
frustrates
I
me with
I
Cade
feel that.
Cunningham is like Cade Cunningham has a more
A slower pace to him.
It ain't super slow. I don't want to overdo it, but
He knows how to control his speed.
and he's not flashy. So like
He's
LaMelo, I can see why he got a bunch of turnover. But Cade be dribbling into certain areas. And I don't be doing.
RJ Hunter works for the Detroit Pistons, the executive assistant of the the president of basketball operations.
He should be helping make jump shots. RJ Hunter can shoot that thing.
Definitely should.
Yep.
All right, somebody give me another one.
I got Anthony Edwards is basically top of the league in 3-point shooting right now.
About
Yes.
Y'all
13
buying it.
attempts or something.
Yes, that was something I talked about on my show as well. He was leading the league in 3-point attempts and makes. Yesterday, he was asked about, like, how do you feel about the people that say you're shooting too many threes? You know what he said?
F him.
I love that response.
Yeah.
Me too, because he's making 41%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why would I care if he's making them? Like, sure, he's taking a high volume, but shit, he's making them. Why would I say anything? If anything regresses with his shooting, I'm pretty sure Anthony Edwards and the coaching staff could definitely address it. And he has the game to where his points per game ain't gonna fall off.
I think it's for him too.
His
it's-
leg's going to get heavy, though, at some point in this season.
It has been like I feel like it's an easier shot for him to get to, and a lot of times it's like bailing like a team out or whatever when you take that pull up three. But like instead of him kind of getting crowded in that mid range because he likes to get there, like he's just been taking the open three that they've been giving him on the drop, and I think I really like that for him. But at the same time, when he needs to, he gets to the cup at will.
He does.
Yeah.
Last night, he got to the cup when he needed to, had the little floater.
Oh, the little floaters he added to his game. That's been a great
Against
addition to his game.
the
That was a big shot
Sacramento
last night.
Kings, just went to the hole, got fouled.
that
Like
corner,
when he
yeah.
needs to, he will get to the paint. I think that's gonna it's gonna balance out the heavy three.
Because right now he's shooting 18% of his shots at the rim compared to his career average, which is 35. So it's
Ooh,
fallen off
that's
quite
great.
dramatically. But the finishing, as far as accuracy goes, it's actually a career low as well there too. But he is stopping for that mid-range floater a lot. We're talking like short mid-ranges.
But
the
it kind of makes
three-point
sense, though,
frequency is
'cause
crazy.
when you're talking about playing with Rudy and Julius, the spacing isn't quite adequate.
Mhm.
So, like, honestly, the little floater is a great addition to his game and the high volume. We need shooting. We lost Cat. I mean, somebody's got to make some more threes.
That's
now.
why I
So,
won't.
I'm not against it.
Julius. And Julius been shooting them and whatever, but
Yeah.
Julius still has his times when I watch them where he's extremely hesitant and he passes up on them. And sometimes bad things happen. I think yesterday he passed up on one and he charged into Russell Westbrook and called a charge. If I'm not mistaken, it was yesterday. But I'm not mad at it for now. And I don't think he's going to sustain 13 threes a game through an 82-game season.
If
Yeah,
he
those
does,
are like
though,
those
my
are like
God.
Steph Curry numbers.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it.
Jason Tatum was right next. I think Jason Tatum took the lead or whatever. Like it's like 70-67 or whatever. But Jason Tatum been getting up too.
That's a big race, man. We got to keep our eye on it.
Who gets up the most
Who
threes?
gets the most three-pointers up this season?
Hey, you got to
Getting
take
them
them
up is
while
one
Steph
thing,
out. You got to
but
take.
you got to
it.
keep making them.
Right, yeah. That's facts. I'm looking for, 3-point. Oh, my God. Jaime Jaquez is shooting 66% from three.
Yes, he is. Seen that yesterday.
One of my buy or sells was would y'all buy or sell Ryan Dunn's 45% 3-point shooting?
I'm selling it.
Yeah, I would sell it.
45% is
That's not crazy for
insane.
anybody.
I want him
That's
to,
like
if,
a elite shooter.
if he can be 35%, just be a league average 3-point shooter, he's such a valuable player for this team. So 45, I'm expecting some type of regression for sure.
I would definitely sell.
I'm
him
not
now,
really buying too many people 3-point shooting right now. 'Cause like he said, Jaime Jaquez is shooting 60%. Dennis Schroder shooting 50%. It's just that time of the
Jimmy
year
Butler
where
shooting 12.
it ain't came
12%.
down, it came up.
from 3.
Bro, I think LeBron was shooting something crazy.
Hell no. But last year we had the most amount of 40% 3-point shooters in the history of the league. I think that number probably is still going to grow.
Yeah.
So some of these numbers, not 66%, but some of these numbers will regress and still be amazing.
I think Ryan Dunn may still stay around 40, 41.
You think so? After shooting no threes for 4 years,
But
basically?
I'm thinking of the fact that some of his shots are like open.
Oh, not some
That's
of them.
'cause they
Every
kept-
single
yeah.
one of them.
So like,
That's designed to be like that.
yeah, I know. Like they're just essentially just saying,
You know, it's a lot of guys that get open 3-point shots.
yeah,
Right.
he's playing with Cade, Bradley, Beal, and they confidently pass on the
So
ball.
was
too.
Josh Okogie last year.
That is true. So I guess essentially,
Being open don't mean
Hopefully-
nothing.
Don't
I mean,
mean
it helps,
If
but
he
it's
gets
It
not
does,
40,
but it's just like
I don't
watch
think he's
the
gonna
game they
shoot
just played?
45.
when they took him out, he was wide open with those shots.
Yeah, he missed 2 or 3 in a row, and they were like, you know
I
what?
think it's just
we need
too-
a shooter in there.
I hope he does, but I just think it's too much. It's too much pressure to put on him to be a 40% shooter, 3-point shooter. No, just be league average.
Yeah.
As long as he's league average with that defense, he's good.
He can stay on the court. That's all they need for him.
40%. Come on, man. We're
The
talking
defense
about
is
we're
crazy.
talking about Grayson Allen type.
But Grayson Allen can't shoot now either.
He's swole.
He got
he got
big
too
for no
swole.
reason, bro.
Ball is much lighter when you get swole, man.
They told him, we going to have you play the 3, put on some weight. And then they's like, we actually want to sign a point guard, so
And
you
you know,
can't play the 3.
he looked big as hell.
He
Like, he
looked
looked
big as
swole
hell.
on
Sometimes
that
you don't
court.
notice when they
Yes.
say, man, he put 15 pounds. You can't
Yeah,
notice.
you notice
You
it with
notice
Grayson
his
Allen, bro.
Yeah.
He out there like
He walked big.
yeah,
now.
he out there looking like a line, like he ready to go, like he ready to go be a linebacker.
There's meaty.
And what is he shoot? He's
beefy,
shooting like
chunky.
20% from 3 because of it. It's like,
Yeah,
Ah.
he should have never touched the muscle game. He should have just stayed.
shouldn't.
He should just stay where he was at. Cause yeah, I just couldn't imagine getting that much stronger and confidently.
23% from 3 so far this year.
Y'all
Let's
want to
talk
know which
about it.
one was worse though?
He dropped 23% so far.
Let's talk about
What
it.
was he shooting? 40?
46% last year.
And he
On
damn,
6
and
attempts.
6 attempts.
He led the- he
Yeah.
led the league.
That's
So, he's not going to shoot 23% all season long.
no.
But
He gonna eventually lose a little bit of weight.
he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 years straight of 40% 3-point shooter.
And then in 1 year he go get swole.
That's
know-
why I never put on weight.
You know what, shooter? I'm like, he got to start hitting some more shots soon. KCP, they brought
He
him.
will.
Yeah.
Bro,
He's had
he's
a
shooting
very
like
slow start.
16%
A
from
very,
3.
very slow start.
And it's just
Me
like,
and KB, I tell KB on a bet. KCP ain't give us nothing.
It was
Yeah.
1.5. We're like, it's KCP. He shot 3
oh,
in
y'all
the
took
first
him on
quarter.
the bed?
Well,
Yeah, this was like
0-3.
2-3 nights ago.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
But I always wondered, and just how it's gonna be, because KCP, he's not a volume 3-point shooter.
But
He's
he's
more so
very
like
accurate.
very like
Yes.
I can hit him when I'm open. But it's just like the Magic needed that volume. Like I'm shooting this
Yeah.
regardless.
They
He's
really
just-
gonna need it now because they don't have Paolo Banchero. So he got to
Yeah.
step up with just offense in general.
But if he just gets back to a respectable percentage, then he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But 17% is crazy.
Buy or sell? Let's talk about it. You get on that spotlight. These Milwaukee Bucks. You buying these struggles. You buying all this conversation. Giannis unhappy. Giannis could potentially, you know what I'm saying, force his way out. He talking about he was cooking up trying to find trades for Dame. Are
Yes,
you
sir.
buying all of this hoopla, or is this just a slow start to a season where they're going to get this shit together and be a favorable team out east that can be a contender that we all kind of anticipated coming into the season?
no team has ever started off 1-4 or won a championship.
You shouldn't have told him some shit like that.
Just saying. Just saying.
He missed the Bucks.
Well, one thing that I've noticed a lot when I'm watching it seems anyone can get 2 feet in the paint. It's hard to. That's what I was
Reminiscent
about
of
to say.
last year, right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to compete for a championship when people can willingly just get to the rim, and it's like there's no one who could stop anybody from getting to the rim, and it's kind of unfortunate because you do have solid defenders on the court, but like nobody's doing anything.
Who the team that they beat? Do you remember? I know. But do you remember?
I do. Yeah.
They beat. No, I don't remember.
The Philadelphia 76ers
Y'all,
that
yeah,
first
without
night.
Maxey. I mean, without Embiid and.
Was that the Torian
Okay.
Prince game?
I think
Did
so.
he shoot like 6 for 6?
Oh yeah, that was that first game where
Damian
went
Lillard,
crazy.
he went crazy in like the second half or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
Though that win
Yeah,
means
I-
a lot less now.
I-
now that we see the
Yeah.
76ers.
Literally.
I think I'm gonna buy the idea of them turning it around. I think this is just a slow start. Like I think offensively they'll get it going. Defensively they're just gonna have to start to learn how to get timely stops in a way. But I don't think there'll ever be a team that's like top 10 in defense no more.
Timely stops is hard when you never in the game.
I was gonna say
They got their ass
Derrick
spanked
been
by the
kind of
Memphis
accurate
Grizzlies.
already.
Oh yeah.
The Warriors lineup, there was no beep AirPods like we thought. He was the one that was saying, "Oh, I would start with." They
Right,
did that.
They did that.
The Nets are looking like they gonna get over
He
there.
did lock the under for the Celtics though. In that very same episode.
That was some jackass shit.
But we only talk about makes. We don't care about misses around here. I mean, we do, but we don't at the same time. So they're still playing this heavy drop coverage, right? As if it's 2019. And the other night was
So are the Knicks.
eye-opening. The reason it's so eye-opening because the drop coverage is to prevent the lobs, is to prevent points in the paint. They let this beat-up Memphis Grizzly team
Dominate them, bro.
score 68 points in the paint.
Bro, Ja Morant was getting wherever the fuck he want, and when he got to the paint and the help came, he was throwing lobs,
6
dropping
lobs.
it off. Yes, Ja
They had
Morant
like 10
was
assists that game, didn't he?
Yes, he
Or something
did.
Ja
like
was
that?
looking like
14.
a pick and roll maestro out there.
Can I
What?
ask you a question? Does Ja Morant have beef with Gary Trent? Why was he doing that to Gary Trent?
No, I just think it's just another day at the office. For
Okay.
Ja.
I was what do the Bucks do well?
I mean, they have Giannis and Dame. That's really it. That's the well
most
part.
nights they have Dame.
But we've seen them both go off for 30 and still lose, and then a
Yeah.
night like that with Dame.
It's kind of like
Do
the
they even
points.
have? And it's I feel like they've been such a stable team, and they have. Do they have like a true identity?
No, that's the
they're
problem.
struggling
Like their
with it.
identity was when they had like Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. Like we knew what they was about, but like they don't even have an identity right now. So
No.
that's kind of hard to be like buy into them. And of course, it's a long season; they can always turn around. But when I look at the other top teams that have identity on the defensive and offensive side, they know their roles, they know their go-to guys, like they know their bench production is going to be there. I just don't see a lot of that with the Bucks.
Yeah, with the Bucks, your identity is supposed to be you have this high-powered offense with Dame and Giannis.
But it ain't even been high-powered yet.
Yeah, I don't think no one fears that offense coming in there.
Which is crazy.
They probably
'cause
fear Giannis and Dame, but like as an offense as a whole, that shit.
I know Giannis mad, man.
It
He
just
signed
seems
that
like,
extension.
and this is another one of them examples, and it could still like turn into something, but it's just like you can't just put things on paper and expect it to go onto the court and just work so effortlessly.
Absolutely.
Like, if
But
you just
it's-
say you
yeah.
put one of the best shooters of all time to one of the greatest dominant forces in the paint of all time, it sounds like it would be pretty easy, right? But it just doesn't work like that.
they are 25th in 27th in defense.
If Giannis didn't
That's
sign the
terrible.
extension,
It's
he's
crazy.
on the
It's
last year of that deal, right? He's going
Yeah.
into free agency. He would have
But
been.
extensions don't matter.
No, they don't. But he would have just been able to. It's so much easier when you're that type of player and you do want to leave. It's so much easier to build your own shit on the next team because now whoever trades for him has to give up so much capital to acquire him.
Yeah.
If he went into the market and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna start some shit in Brooklyn," he would have been able to. They got their first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He might have been able to bring somebody with him.
This is the thing you got to do if they decide to blow it up, which is an if, you know.
This shit so bad. People was in my comments saying, "Hey, rebuild them, make them be your next series."
That's
It's like
crazy.
just blow this shit
Blow it
up. And like,
Send Giannis to Houston. Draft capital, young players. Miami would still
what
love
does that
to
look
have
like for
Damian Lillard.
Houston? I need to know what does that look like for Houston.
I'm guessing Jalen Green.
Say it again.
Jalen Green.
I kind of want Jalen Green on the team.
Right?
Would you rather? Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
but
saying,
if
would you
I'm
rather
the-
want Jalen Green and Giannis or Sengun and Giannis?
Jalen Green.
I want them
yeah.
all. We got all the draft capital. The Bucks got 0
Hey,
picks.
this is you talking about Giannis. I'm gonna need one of them. I'm gonna need one of them.
I'm
guys.
sure of it. I'm sure of it.
But yeah, you got. I mean,
Wait. Are you? Because what if I give you
Amen, Cam.
Reed, Shepard? Yeah, I can give you
Steven Adams.
I mean, I think you
Dylan
put
Brooks.
Jabari in there because
What does Jabari do with Giannis and Sengun there?
I mean, unless he playing the 3 or something
yeah,
like
but
that.
even Jabari, there's a world where I can let you keep those two, especially since you extended them and paid
The only
them.
reason I say you might want to try to keep Jabari because, I mean, first of all, he's like a shooter, for Giannis at least though. Like he's willing to catch and shoot.
You got Giannis at the same time.
I don't know. He's still
But
wants
then
some
if you
shooting
give up
around.
all of that, what you got? You got Fred,
Jay Sean Tate.
Jayshawn Tate, Dylan Brooks.
Now, Dylan Brooks
Sengun.
got to be in there for the money. He's $20-some million.
Oh, well, you can't get all them bodies.
I'm sure they waived Marshawn Beauchamp in order to get Reed Shepard on the team.
Oh, that's true.
They already declined
true.
his option for his third year
Same with
option.
Jalen Hood-Schifino, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But
It's hard to just build the trade. What you're saying is right, because you will have teams like Houston is the one place where your infrastructure can somewhat stay the same, while adding Giannis. Every
You
other
might
place.
have to add Fred VanVleet to the trade. Adding Fred VanVleet knocks a big portion of that salary out.
Yeah.
It's already like
40 mil.
40 and a half. So you already there.
Is it a player or team option next
The
year?
team option.
Oh, so they're gonna.
We gave you that bag, but we got the option to.
Oh no, or they'll opt in and then trade them. They would have to do
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
But then there's your guard, because on paper you would love Fred VanVleet with Giannis. He's going to defend. He'll take the crazy threes from deep in the queue. So I don't know.
I still feel like Giannis is a one-team guy, though. All that said.
I think he loves Milwaukee. I think he loves. Like I saw the picture of him walk. Somebody drove past and saw him walking to CVS. I
mean, he loved the city because he walking to the store.
I don't think he could do that. I don't think he could just do that in New York.
Nigga, he has got to get some money. I mean, some
Like
money.
imagine
some
Giannis
medicine.
walking down the street in New York. He's gonna be pummeled with people. Can't do
Same
that.
thing happened
I
in
was gonna
Milwaukee.
say,
No, he was bad.
You saw a
himself.
picture.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he was just.
You
Casual.
think Giannis Antetokounmpo can walk around comfortably in anywhere in the United States?
Well, Milwaukee is such a small city that
Which-
where he was, it probably wasn't a lot of people. Just
So you're
in his
making my
neighborhood.
case.
Yeah.
He was in a spot where it happened to not be a lot of people. That don't mean he just.
If he got to the CVS, people won't be like, "Oh, there's Giannis."
Yeah, no.
Came with that, like people gonna want that autograph, a picture.
Instant.
what up, GA? Did you see
Oh, that's
him?
just Jan.
He goes-
Jan. We seen what you do for
Oh
way
my
lesser.
God, y'all crazy.
We seen how your reaction is
He's so much better now.
for
but
way
God,
lesser.
2019 was a crazy year for Darrick. I'll just say that. So much better now, though.
Way lesser. I'm talking about Mo. Derek say,
Y'all run that story to the ground.
oh, best believe when
It's an all-timer. It is an
Ivy's
all-timer.
16th birthday, I'm telling you that story. Let me tell you something your dad did years ago, before you was even born. Man, your dad, it's a guy named Mo Bamba. I know you don't know who that is.
He's been out of
But
the league for 15 years
Here,
now.
this man, Mo Bamba, had a high juice cut, high top. He had crutches. His foot was broken, and your dad stopped. It didn't say nothing
At a close
to him.
party.
Yeah, in a private party.
That's not even the worst thing.
Your dad
though.
did this. He ain't
the
introduced
beard
himself.
Yeah,
He did
that's
this.
that's the one you got to tell is when we talking to the
Brushing
ladies, real important people. They want to invite us to another party, and we talking it through, and D Mills just stroking his beard with his comb, just lit coming out of it.
The
just
lady
holding
really
it.
getting in her bag with details too. Yeah, it's in Chicago. So if you guys actually know any good venues in Chicago, let us know. That'd be extremely helpful. There, like, yeah,
Hell no.
right. Remember, I almost had to whip his ass too
Wow.
because they was giving out all that free shit. He told me, go over there, and you can just buy it, P. And I went and bought the shirt
Yeah.
just for them to be like, why you buy that? We're giving all this away for free. I'm like, should whip your ass.
3 moments in a 1 hour party is crazy. Because the smaller moment is you was like, KB, take these pictures of me, and you had the Portland Trailblazer ball
Oh my God.
against that wall, and then you uploaded it on Instagram,
head
and it
cut
was
off.
turned, and your head was cut off.
I don't know why when I uploaded
That was the moment where I
didn't
should have been
notice-
like, be cool, be cool. Be
I don't know
cool.
why when I uploaded that I didn't notice that I cut my head off.
Head off, bro.
When we out of town,
Nose down.
when we out of town, you a different man. This is a different dude when we out of town. We specifically told, I'll never forget KB bachelor party. I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, chill on that liquor, bro. Like, we good. Like, you all right, bro. I can see that you decent. Just don't. He like, what? I'm good. I'm like, oh, okay. 300-pound man tell me he good. You decent. I ain't finna fight you. You good. This how you was too. It was a Ciroc. It was like Ciroc Peach or some shit that I would never put in my system at this point. Maybe when I was 17, I would have took a little swig. Ciroc though. But anyway, he like, what? I'm good. I said, oh, okay, you good. He
What that last time too?
he getting that Uber out that window.
Oh yeah.
And then he gonna tell the Uber driver, sorry. Because he got this shit on the car.
Bro,
That shit was like fake dangerous too, because we on the highway and he had out the window.
He thought
throwing
about
up.
what that
Hereditary,
movie?
yeah.
And I'm looking at him and I'm like, I'm so glad that I told myself I was good.
Yeah.
I was good.
And everybody that throw up sounds awful. And he was damn near crying, like in his voice.
I just seen an animation of what your body look like when you throwing up. It do not look good.
And then this what KB gonna do, because he in the middle of us. We like one of them.
The black SUV.
Yeah. So we all in the back. KB do this. KB in the middle.
I'm one of those people that I can't see throw up.
Yeah, because
I've never actually done it, but it makes me like nauseated. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Nauseous. So yeah, he was fighting that demon by himself.
And then in Vegas,
didn't our flight get delayed or something too?
it kept getting delayed. Yeah. And we was like, Mike, lucky. Then in Vegas, we go to the restaurant. The lady telling him, man, hey, that's for the table. Like,
y'all,
these are serving size for the whole table.
The whole table's gonna be a lot. You know what I'm saying? He like, I know. I want this for me. She's saying them 3 times. Like, no, I know you want the steak, but they're getting one, and it's for the table. So you want 2 for the table?
Hey, was it
it's for
was it San Fran where we're like, remember they had where our hotel was, it was kind of blocked off by like a bunch of police or whatever.
That was in Utah.
Utah. And every time we pull up, D Mills just be like he'll just give him a sign or whatever, because the police always ask like, which hotel are you in? And at some point, D Mills just got sick and tired of people like, man, we at this hotel. He sounded like a boss. Like,
but I'm still waiting for him to carry that everywhere we go, because I'm telling you, if Darrick put that voice on and had that swag, how he was in Vegas at the
I think the bald head
at Palomino's. Palomino's, they was finna take us to that table. Darrick said, "Why we can't? What's wrong with that one?" Said, "Oh, you want that one by the stage? You can have that one. You can have that one."
I think the bald head enhanced the security guard look too. Like,
it does.
Most security guards had a bald head,
but he don't even have to say anything. All he has to say. Hypothetically, okay, All-Star Weekend is gonna be in San Francisco this February. I'm sure we'll go. We have some events and shit to go to. I'm sure Adidas may have another party. You have these lines and different things. Hey, on everything, if all he has to say, hey, let me get these dudes too. Step to the side real quick. Let me just get these two. I promise you, we go anywhere we want to go. Nobody's going to stop and say anything. They're not going to do anything. We was at the Chase Center with the Warriors, and we had that long line. If Darrick would have just said, excuse me, let me get these guys through real quick. He don't even got to be rude or anything. He could just say, hey, big homie, let me get these dudes through right here. Like, just get them through. Just 1 second. I promise you, we through. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
We got to test it this year, All-Star.
If he want to be a dickhead, he could do that too, but that's naturally not him. If he was like, hey, step through, move to the left, that'll work too. But when you are getting moved, it's always good when the security is at least being nice.
Yeah.
People respond.
He's just trying to do his job.
He's just doing his job. But people also move with get your ass to the side. You see these dudes you know who this is. Oh man, that's Mike Hurd of Kitty Beach. Get to the side, damn it. Act like y'all got some sense around here. We in All-Star Weekend and y'all doing whatever the hell y'all want to do. Hey, matter of fact, hey, Rob, get your ass to the front. They acting stupid.
He's talking about bring that bag up here too.
You was right. I should have brought my damn gun. I mean, it just started clearing out. This is open. We just sit there, but hey, we probably get on a court at All-Star if you really get in that mode.
He's just gonna be standing there.
That's all you got to do. Yeah, if he does have that little bag.
You need the little earpiece. Yeah. He need a little earpiece too.
I think he get away without the earpiece.
Yeah, I'm convinced he don't need much, but some tone.
That's funny.
Cavs are undefeated.
I'm buying.
Yeah. They look so damn good.
I love me some Darius Garland.
And that's part of why I'm buying him and Evan Mobley offensively. They've looked really good. So, like, it's kind of hard not to buy into that.
No.
Especially when you're talking about Garland has struggled when playing with him, with Donovan. But, like, he's thriving. What?
Nothing.
He struggled playing with him.
Oh, y'all.
But no,
I'm buying on that.
I was buying in the summer because when I look back in retrospect over last season, it was like they had all that success with all of those injuries, and then the year before they was as good as they was. What have the Cavs done to make me not be a believer? But now they got Kenny Atkinson. They scoring a bunch of points. They scored like 130 points.
He's
and
empowering Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley looks the best I've seen him look offensively.
Yes.
So this is if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm very excited.
And you love the fact that you're not going to get too much attention because the Celtics take it all. Relax. I like when teams can be super good and fly under the radar. Nobody really watching, nobody hyping it up.
Them and the Knicks going to get all the media coverage.
Who?
The Celtics and the Knicks.
You think the Knicks going to get the media coverage?
Yeah, naturally, because they're in New York.
I feel that, but the Celtics so damn good. I think it's going to be the Celtics being good and the Bucks being bad because people want to make a story out of Giannis. We're going to get our coverage, obviously, but I think we might, unless we end up having a tough stretch. If we start the season, I don't know, 4-9, people are definitely going to talk about the Knicks, but I think the Celtics going.
Because one of the biggest sports coverage guys is a Knicks fan, Stephen A. He's going to talk about the Knicks on the show.
No. I think you take it when I'm saying out of perspective. The Knicks are going to get talked about.
Yeah.
It's not debatable. But I just think the dominant things is going to be the more and more the Bucks struggle because people want to make the Giannis thing into a situation. Because if Giannis is unhappy, we now have content to talk about for a while now. And then they're going to talk about how damn good the Celtics are because all of these people, you know what they did? What you did. They act like the Celtics weren't good. So now they're going to act like they're just super good because you don't want to look like a jackass 2 times in a row. So for us to forget about all of these people that picked the Mavericks, now they're going to dick ride the Celtics. That's my logic. Think the Knicks still fall in between that.
Respect him, though.
Oh, you had the man's shoes on literally a day after.
That was just coincidence.
No.
He gonna keep riding with that story.
Krispy Kreme glaze is what you was doing.
And you still haven't put it back on. It was just that one day.
That one day.
One day, coincidentally.
I've worn them outside of work.
Oh, we haven't seen.
My bad.
Where were you going with Jason Tatum's song?
It's casual. I just like wearing them.
Are they
comfortable shoes?
Are they casual wears? No, some hoop shoes are not casual wears.
I wear them casually to like the grocery store.
I think I hooped in them one time and it
or
was
something like that.
I haven't worn them. Huh?
You hoop?
I went to the gym and I wore
you
them.
hooped in them?
Yeah.
The new Tatum's are fine. I can't wait to.
Are they comfortable to hoop in?
Yeah, I like them.
I don't think I've ever hooped in a Jordan.
I mean, they're way different than hooping in like a retro Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know if I've ever hooped in a Jordan either, Darrick.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
I can't. I have, actually. I had some Jordans. I had these Jordans where there was something on the shoe, and you could take it off. And me and my brother used to take it off and wear like a wristband. Super goofy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a pair of Jordans I've hooped in. That's actually kind of crazy. Another one of my buyer sales is Gradey Dick's hot start.
Yes, Darrick.
Gradey Dick has been like on fire, bro.
He was one of mine too.
One of the big positives for the Raptors.
Right now, he's an MIP candidate. Yes, he jumped from 8 points he jumped all the way up to 18 now. So
he was giving the Lakers fits, man.
He was.
He really, like, you close out on him, he can get past you.
Yes.
If you don't close out, he's shooting over you.
That's been the most impressive thing. He's driving the basketball and looking comfortable doing it.
He's no longer just being like a one-dimensional just shooter.
And I'm glad because last year I felt like he didn't really find his footing until I guess like maybe the latter part of the season. But like I was wondering how he's going to get his minutes with the new guys that coming in rotation. We obviously knew like Emmanuel, RJ, and Scottie was going to get their minutes, but well, he's been looking really good though.
No, he's looking like he has to play at this point.
And his job will only get easier when those other guys get healthy.
Facts.
So
I hope the job gets easier, but I hope it's a world where he can still have some aggression.
He's just not sitting in the corner.
There's a world where they all come back, and now we just see that version of him that looks one-dimensional. And maybe his one dimension wasn't him, and it was just a situation he was in that made us believe he was one-dimensional as just a shooter. But Gradey Dick is clearly much more than that. He's showing us he's a scorer. He's a respectable scorer. So
how do y'all rank their players' importance through their rebuild? Like, we know Scottie Barnes is the most important player in their rebuild. Is Gradey second? Is it RJ? Is it Quickley? Like, how do y'all see it?
I would say it's probably like a Quickley or RJ would probably be second for me, just because I think when you talk about being able to do more on the basketball court, those two have a lot more to offer. Like, I think RJ Barrett can run a pick and roll and make the right reads and make the right plays out of it. I don't know if I'm really trusting Gradey Dick to do that. And I just think Quickley just offensively could just bring me a lot too. Like, I think both of those dudes their ceiling is higher than what a Gradey Dick ceiling could be.
I'm going Scottie, obviously, is important, and I think it's Immanuel Quickley at 2 for me, just because in a perfect world, he empowers what you love from Scottie as a guard, and it's going to be extremely hard to find that going forward because most guards in this league today, they need the basketball at a high level, and Immanuel Quickley does too, but he also gives you that world where he can play off of Scottie, and they could have a really good 1-2 punch because of Quickley's shooting ability from all over, penetration, the speed. I just think that Scottie Barnes is going to need a point guard like that going forward. Because imagine Scottie Barnes if he had a more ball-dominant point guard. It would be weird.
Yeah.
If he had like a
I got the same like mentality with that. It's just like I think IQ fits the Scottie Barnes thing a lot more than probably RJ Barrett. And RJ Barrett is still a really good player, but it's just, I think, like you said, Scottie Barnes is a little bit not even limited at the perimeter, but like he can do a little bit of the things that Scottie Barnes can do, and he can continue to like enhance them. It's kind of weird, but Immanuel Quickley definitely feels like he's the more like coherent person with Scottie Barnes in terms of like long term.
I would feel more confident and comfortable building around Scottie with him having a point guard that complements him like Immanuel Quickley. I think he's going to need a unique point guard until we really get to see what is the overall peak version of Scottie Barnes. You know, how Giannis had, or Drew Holiday was a really good point guard for Giannis to have all of those years because he can play with the ball at times, play without the ball. He was going to defend. You get what I'm saying? Now we're seeing Dame, and I don't think Dame is a bad point guard for him at all, but I think it would be better if he was more willing to screen. But Dame is not as good defensively. Dame needs the ball a lot to be extremely effective or to feel the overall impact of him. And now they kind of doing this take turn shit. I think Scottie Barnes and Immanuel Quickley can play together, and you won't need taking turns type shit. And it could be a fake Walmart
to me,
version
that's what makes
of
the best
Tre Mann and
duos.
Steph. You see, I had to put a lot of all these on it.
That's what makes the best duos to me, when it's not like your turn, my turn.
We
per
play
se.
together.
It's we can play off each other.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's been a little different story, but Jamal and Jokic, Jamal not the prettiest, like he's not the most household name in the NBA, but when you talk about 2-man game and like playing off each other, he was like top of the world with that one.
He was.
No, I think that has been the perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Jamal Murray to me is just not like he don't really get off a point guard vibe, but playing with Jokic allowed him to be able to, you know, because he don't have to facilitate and do all those things. He can be that scoring aggressive guard. I even think when I first found out who Jamal Murray was, I think he was a shooting guard at like Kentucky and playing on a young the young FIBA team representing Canada at the
he came in as a
U17.
point guard though with Denver, right? Like they immediately put
they put him at point guard, but I think his entire
because it was him and Gary Harris, right?
At Kentucky, he was playing next to Tyler Ulis, who was their point guard.
He can't play nothing else.
Who?
Tyler Ulis?
Hell no. Hell no, small ball 3. But Denver has never been afraid of it. Because remember they took Emmanuel Moody, and it was like Moutier, and it was like, is Emmanuel Moutier? Is he a real? He was always perceived to be a point guard, but
it
there
was like
talks.
combo guard because he was a bigger
6'5",
guard.
yeah. And they were like, nah, we're gonna let him be true to himself, which is a point guard. So that's a really good question. What about other teams?
Lasted 2 years before he got traded.
About
he was
other
shooting
teams at what?
36% from the field as a point guard.
Other teams at what?
The ranking of importance of their rebuild. Like if you look at a team
Let's
like
talk about it, yeah.
Pistons.
Well,
Cade is
one.
I think a lot of the teams are going to have the obvious one.
I think Jalen Duren would be number 2 for me.
Oh, see?
I think having that guard big duo is very important, especially if you don't have that other dynamic 2 next to them. I mean, they do have Jaden Ivey, but I think a point guard big duo can take you further than like a dynamic backcourt.
Do you get that feel from Jalen Duren to be that?
I don't. I will be honest with you. I don't.
Not so far, but I thought last year he showed us a lot of flashes. I definitely don't think he's someone that you're going to give the ball to on a regular basis and say, go get me a bucket. But I think when you're talking about doing the little things, like just playing defense, rebounding, lob threat, like, yeah, you can get that at a cheaper price from somewhere else. But
some games I feel like he's amazing. Some games I feel like I don't know what I'm going to get.
Sometimes he's lost defensively, too.
Yeah, Mike hit on the head. He is so up and down. Some days you watch him and he's doing everything right. He's setting the screen, he rolling, he crashing the glass, he blocking shots, he moving, he might guard.
Moving his feet in a pick and roll.
Exactly. He might get switched on someone and hold his on. And it's just like, ooh, I love me some Jalen Duren. And then you'll click. And that's really their team, to be honest with you. Some nights Cade Cunningham looked like a superstar that you knew was coming for a while. And then sometimes you'll see the fourth quarter where he's turning over the ball or he's relying so much on a mid-range shot that just isn't falling. Or he's just walking into these 3-point shots that just isn't falling. And it's like, you 6'7" guard. Like that first game, who was that first game against? It was a really close game.
That was the Pacers game.
And yeah, I'm like, Cade, man, like those shots ain't falling right now. You 6'7". And then he was posting up and he was getting right to it.
One of my biggest complaints on Cade is that he's a tough shot taker and maker. And again, players like that exist, Paolo Banchero's and that. But when it's not falling, bro, it's a tough watch, man. Like it might have been that game or the game right after that. I remember watching it the day after. And he didn't get an open/good look for the entire first half. He was like 1 for 8 in the first half.
Had to be the Pacers game.
And then
like we're talking about the same game.
In the third quarter, he got a few good looks, got some open mid-range jump shots, got downhill to get to the rim when nobody was down there. But other than that, man, it can be real rough for Cade. And that's just because, again, tough shot taker and maker. When they're falling, beautiful game of basketball.
And I think there's other guys in the league who sometimes that has to be their shot diet. Because he's a 6'7" point guard, I don't think it always has to be there. I think there's a lot of times where he's getting guarded by guys that he can't post up. And in that Pacers game, he took his ass to that block. He posted up. He made moves. He got to the rim. He had the spin move finish. Those are the easy ones that you start to see to get going and you get your rhythm and feel and flow. Go, like, get to the free throw line. And then you start making a mid-range shot, and then you start making a three, and now the defense is at your mercy because it's like this dude is hitting on all different cylinders. But I think a lot of young players do that. And and that was one of the things with Bam, who was another thing that I was going to bring up to buy and sell. Like, I watched every possession Bam has been a part of that you can take us the statistical value from.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen his turnovers, his fouls drawn, missed shots, made shots, assists, rebounds, block, whatever. And Bam in his second or third game against the Hornets took his season high in shots in 17 shots. That's the only game this season he shot double-digit shots. Bam Adebayo, as of right now, is shooting 9.5 shots per game. He shot 38 shots overall in a whole season. That, to me, is even feeling like it's high because of the 17-shot performance.
Right, he's got the outlier.
So if you break that down, he really took 7 shots over 3 games on average, which sounds crazy. He's 6th in usage behind Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez. He's at an 18% usage rate in comparison to last year being 25%. And a lot of the times, it's the shot die. He's shooting a lot catch-and-shoot shots. And last year, he shot like 60-something% at the rim. And now he shot 60% of his shots there at the rim. This year, he's shooting like 34% of the shots at the rim, and he's still shooting 60%. So I'm like, why are we making the game more difficult than it has to be? And a lot of the times when I watch the film, Bam, kind of like Cade, the reaction to resistance is just like they allow teams to go into what they want. As soon as Bam Adebayo feels resistance from the defense, he bails them out by shooting a jump shot. So many times where I see him catch the ball in the block, face up, he's making his drive, and the defense say, hey, I'm not letting you get there easy. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll shoot a shot. And it's weird to me because I feel like in every matchup he's had to start the season, he's been a favorable guy.
It's been he's personally had a relatively easy center schedule.
Taking him over Wendell.
Defensive schedule.
Taking him over Nick Richards. I'm taking him over Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. And I'm taking him offensively for like him being guarded by Cat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen anything or much from that. He hasn't made any three. He shot 8 threes. He hasn't made any of them. I know it was a big talk all offseason. Bam's going to shoot
me
more aggressive.
He might got that $100 bet that he'll make one a game.
Nothing. He's made nothing. And
I think part of
they've
it
all
is,
been wide. They've all been open.
Yes.
Or wide open.
Part of it is the system shift. Them trying to modernize their game and evolve to the point where every other team is. And they just don't have the tools to get it done, unfortunately, because they're playing this 5-out offense while simultaneously being this super slow team. And I think part of the reason 5-out works is being able to run to not let the defense set up. Mm-hmm. They're so small, and they don't have the necessary shooting to make it work. And one of my favorite things about a 5-out offense is the way you generate the threes. The Boston Celtics get 2 feet into the paint. You got no choice but to either guard Jason Tatum as he's burrowing his way down court, or you leave the open three. It's one or the other. Mm-hmm. They have no rim pressure. So now the three-point shots that they're generating is like Tyler Hero trying to get into his bag and attempt a three, or them running this small screen that you will see with him and Terry Rozier to try to get Terry Rozier to flare to the wing to get a three. And it's just been ugly basketball. And now we're not putting Bam in a position to be his best version of himself. But also, like Pierre saying, he hasn't turned the switch to try to be the best version of himself.
Yeah.
Where sometimes, like even in a 5-out offense, Eric Spoelstra's not going to say, Bam, we don't want you to get your bread and butter. We don't want you to do the thing that's got you to average 19 points per game last season. And instead, he's just floating. And I'm seeing that a lot this season. We've talked about it pretty heavily with Victor Wembanyama being a floater. Bam is turning into that, and that is the worst version of him, my least favorite version of him you could imagine. I don't want him to just exist offensively.
Yeah.
He has to be involved somehow.
He's very talented, though. Like, that's what's crazy, to see someone that talented offensively to, like, float. Because, like,
and he's never, well, not never. In the last couple of years, he hasn't been a rim pressure guy himself, where he will take the lone contested two or take the floater instead of going there. And
he's taking them too much, though, right now because they're not. In those past times, I get it because he was effective with that. He is not making shots right now. Like, the feel ain't there. And I think when you do shoot the ball as good as he does in less than 10 feet, even though it ain't your, you know what I mean, you ain't on a block with it, again, a lot of these matchups are favorable where I think he has enough in his arsenal to get to where he wants to get to. That's one of the best things about Bam Adebayo, even though he lacks the size of a traditional center or a lot of the centers in the league. Bam Adebayo is a center who can hit your ass with an in and out.
Yes.
Nick Richards is not ready to guard. You on the block, facing up, pump fake jab, getting into your in and out, spinning and left-hand layup at the rim. That's your version of rim pressure. And you can do that against a Nick Richards and Isaiah Stewart. There was a possession where Isaiah Stewart guarded him. Bam catches it face up and shoot a jump shot. You just bailed him out. Isaiah Stewart does not want to have to do any of that work with you in any way or shape or form. You know how I know? Because I just seen Karl-Anthony Towns, who's a much more gifted offensive player than Bam Adebayo, but I just seen him go to work in various different ways. He shot threes. He posted them up. He gave them hooks. He fought on the glass, offensive rebounds. Obviously, Bam don't need to do it at a 40-point game level. That would be nice to see. But you can't tell me that Bam can't get 25 against the Detroit Pistons.
It's both sides. It's on him.
That's exactly what I said.
Because nobody got to tell Bam to be aggressive at this point. Like we've been preaching to Bam for years to like, you can score the ball. Just go ahead and go do it. And he definitely does need that time where he's like, turn on the switch. But yeah, it's probably hard just like to adjust to a new pace and like try to get the team, everybody all going.
But it ain't a new pace.
It's the same pace, new system somehow.
New system.
But I give that, I give him benefits to that. But I also agree with KB where Eric Spoelstra and everybody else on the team, we've seen Jimmy Butler tell Bam, like in the course of games, I want you to be more aggressive. Nobody will be mad if Bam and they 5-out offense say, oh shit, I got a guy who I don't think can guard me in any way, shape, or form. I'm going at him. I'm going at Nick. And Bam naturally isn't going to try to do that 30 times. But sometimes this team has shown us that they need you to maybe do that 5 or 7 times in the course of a game.
I'm interested to kind of look more at his stats and just like, especially when he has a taller defender on him, because I think you hit it right on the head, and this goes more than just like this year, but like usually when Bam has a taller defender on him, he really does kind of shy away from like really attacking the rim. Like he will settle for that mid-range.
But I just told you all his matchups.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter was 6'9" himself. Nick Richards, like 6'9", Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren. The tallest and biggest guy was probably Karl-Anthony Towns.
His time of possession is at one of the lowest it's ever been in his career. Meaning that he's getting the ball and getting off of it, or he's catching and shooting.
Yeah, that's his number one shot in the diet is the catch and shoot shots, which he's shooting. I forget what he's shooting.
Which takes away what Bam. Like Bam is so much more than just a catch and shoot player. That should make you
Bam
mad.
used to rebound the ball, push the
He
tempo,
does.
initiate the break.
He still at time does that, and he made good players off of him. It's more so like the half court shit of like him just being in their natural flow of the 5-out offense, and like KB said, it's more so floating.
That don't even look like a team I would run a 5-out offense with.
It don't, especially when you've seen a lot of success just from like dribble handoffs and actions with Bam inside. Like Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo, dribble handoff. Yeah, that's money play for Miami.
I want Bam.
They are sharing like 4 minutes per game on the court together. By the way.
Really?
Last year was like 19. John Jablanca. I mispronounced his name
Yes,
last time I talked
big
about
time
him.
Heat fan.
He's been writing about the Heat. That's how I get to like a lot of the statistics with the Miami Heat.
Is he a Heat writer or a fan or both?
I think it's both.
Okay, because every time I see my boy tweet, it's a damn.
He got a Substack and it's pretty good. Yeah, he said that this year they're averaging like 3 to 4 minutes a game together on the court at the same time. Where like last year, 2 years ago, that 2-man game was one of the better ones in basketball. Last year, when Duncan Robinson started to put the ball on the floor a little bit more, it opened the game up. So Spoelstra's experimenting heavily. And someone asked me on my show, like, are these older, longest tenured coaches getting a little out of touch, referring to like the lack of urgency with the Spurs offense, and then again with the Miami Heat. And I just said, hey, those two dudes earned enough trust for me to not question what they're doing, but we can also recognize that those things could be changed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it really depends on the roster, because it goes to also the conversation I brought up a couple episodes ago where it's like everybody got so much of a green light that it's like I can see some of them coaches not really want to go down that path. Like I don't think Jeremy Sohan need to be shooting a 3 at 7 seconds into the possession.
But at the same
because
time,
it's like we want to get our 3-point rate up.
Yeah.
But there is a balance to everything. There's a balance to everything in life. So I get part of it.
I feel like it's at the same time, even if you don't want to, you're damn near forced into it. Because it's like, how am I going to keep up with this team that's just launching away threes? And eventually, like, you know, these teams are going to hit them and get hot. If we're just matching twos, usually we can't keep up numbers-wise. So we're kind of forced into we got to probably take extra 10 to 15 threes.
I agree with that, but at the same time, are you doing that with a roster that's capable of doing it? If you're just shooting because you feel like we have to shoot, then I think you might as well play to your bread and butter.
Yeah, Pat Riley got to wake the fuck up again.
Right, and again, like I said in my video, I made a Bam-centric video where I just said, where's Bam? And a part of the early part of that video was also highlighting the part that this is a team that did nothing in the offseason, but add Alec Burks and draft Khalil Ware.
And Khalil Ware's not even playing for them.
So again, when you make adjustments like this, it usually come off of the review of last year, putting pieces into play that is going to help the new philosophy. So it's like Derek said. He just said to himself, it's not even a team I want to see 5-out. So if you make that commitment of saying, we're going to probably try to go into 5-out, what adjustments can we make offensively as a roster?
Where it was Heat versus Celtics and Heat hit like their franchise record for threes or whatever. Like, that was just when they were just taking them.
That was game 1.
That was game
Tyler
1.
Hero game 1, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just the threes give you such a puncher's chance. And, like,
or that might have been game 2.
I see why a lot of teams are just kind of adapting to it. But, again, you really right with, like, it just come down to personnel. And I think you also
because Jimmy Butler is never going to be a guy that you're depending. Yeah. Like that's one of your best players.
42% last year
on 2 attempts, right? So it's like
I think it might have been less.
It's not going to be. You're not getting really that.
Come down to
so it's like that's where I get to the point with the NBA. I know it's a copycat league, but we have to make sure we're copying with the same ingredients. I cannot make a German chocolate cake like Mike if I got fucking caramel frosting.
Mike also got that THC butter in his.
Yeah. That's why I was.
German chocolate cake is not from Germany, by the way.
It's a guy.
Who told you that, Franz?
I know. I think I told y'all that.
Well, yeah, you just.
Who did you find out from? Is what he's saying. You just discovered.
Google.
Okay.
High thoughts. No, I think the guy's last name is German.
Yeah, it is. I learned that on YouTube.
Is German chocolate cake good? What is
phenomenal?
What makes
one
it
of
German?
My favorite.
I like a good. German
what makes
chocolate.
it German? I mean, I know it's not German, but what makes it like different from a regular chocolate
Isn't it
cake? Is it has something
like
on
walnuts or something?
Okay,
like
that's what it is. I've always thought there's been something different on it.
It just has
coconut.
Something,
Coconut.
something that
that's
has
what shade me away.
The texture be different.
I don't really like coconut.
Coconut, yeah. That's
I don't either though. But
I like the flavor, but that's what shied me away. It always
it's
I
the
can
texture.
See the
I like that it got a little extra crunch.
Okay.
In it. So shout out to him. Shout out to the German chocolate cakes of the world. Didn't Rick Ross say shout out to all my pears out there? Y'all remember that?
Shout out to my
5 years ago. Any other ones?
I got a few.
I got buy or sell. I got Anthony Davis being first team All NBA.
I'm buying.
Buying that.
Yeah,
I buy that for sure.
Especially with Joel Embiid.
Yep.
We not knowing his true status or what he's gonna, or even how many games he's gonna play.
Right.
So
that's why I was kind of buying that too when y'all talked about Chet, you and Cone, because it's like.
Yeah, me and Cone talked about. Well, he said like, Chet is like a top 5 center in basketball right now, and I thought about it, it's like, I can't be mad.
I got Chet on my list.
The assessment. Yeah.
Chet for DPOY.
Yeah, I had him in my preseason thing.
I was doing the,
somebody throw out a buy or sell with the Spurs of Victor Wembanyama. Let's talk about this shit. Because there's some new feelings that I have that I've always felt.
Just go ahead.
So me and Darrick were watching,
This is OKC game versus Chet.
And, you know, they hyping up this little rivalry or whatever, and somebody came out and said, I wish I knew his name. Man, Vic won't even say the man's name in regards to Chet. Chet goes out there, busts his ass. Yeah. Spurs fans, feel however you want to say it.
Career low for Wemby.
It's not a rivalry, by the way. Doesn't even feel like a rivalry.
Chet has won all but one game, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like 5-1 at this point.
I get what you're saying, but
I need it to be. I kind of want it to be.
But it's kind of hard to see a rivalry with a team that's probably going to finish 15th in the conference, and then one team is going to finish at the top.
No, the teams aren't the rivalry. The players are what they're saying, Darrick. It's not OKC
But I agree with Darrick, though, because Wemby is so by himself in this fight that it's like the way they guard him by sending 2 to 3 bodies, it's just so much harder for him. Well, Chet is like, we got spacing out of this world. Go be Kevin Durant 2.0.
I get what y'all saying, but a rivalry and a beef is a rivalry and a beef, damn it.
But also, they're not even guarding each other.
I did that earlier. So if y'all try to say you got to edit anything that I'm doing, you got to edit that because I was halfway too on something. But anyway.
You didn't say it, though.
I did not say it. But you was talking about Giannis. I was like, you think that can't walk? But
That's how you know I was really frustrated with
that. Yeah, for sure.
First
thing I am going to say with this, though, is just a general thought in my thing. I don't think that Victor Wembanyama has gotten or gets assessed properly. And the reason I think it is because I think the media is so scared to say anything that isn't positive towards him because of the day he's going to pop off. So I want to put it out there, everybody in the basketball world. Victor Wembanyama is going to get it together, and he's going to reach some of this potential and be the star that we know it to be. But we also can have honest conversations, and it don't always have to be to drag a player. Like, I believe that a lot of times, I think that's what we do best up here. And I feel like I do that best in my personal time. If I have to talk about a player not being good or not doing good things, I don't make it personal or attack the player. I'm really fans of a lot of guys in the NBA, but I got to talk about Bam not being there. I have to. It's part of my job.
So if I notice something and then y'all start noticing something, it means I'm not tweaking on it.
Yeah.
You too.
I like that. And
right?
that's what I said in my Bam video.
Hard.
I was told the viewers, let me know if I'm bugging.
Right.
Let me know. Because a lot of this stuff that I'm seeing in the NBA, because I'm consuming so much, it's just like scatterbrain. There's just so much going on. It's like, I don't know if, just let me know. Victor Wembanyama, we was talking about, and that was kind of like that too. Hey, Darrick, do it feel like Vic did what he was supposed to do right there with his expression of, I should have got the ball in that particular play? Me and you was like, no, KB came out.
For the people that want to go back, OKC versus Spurs in the first quarter.
Yep.
Wembanyama gets the rebound. He gives it to Chris Paul. He comes down court. He's sitting high on the right wing.
Past the hash.
Sets a screen, and then he ends up with Alex Caruso on him. He's on the right elbow.
Yep.
He gives it up, and then he does like a swim move to get to the rim. That would have been a lob.
Yes.
Then get there. I think it ended up being Blake Wesley for a 3 in the corner. That's the possession we're referring to.
And his response after the possession is kind of like a sign of frustration.
Yeah.
And me and Darrick's perspective, well, I was kind of in the middle, and I hate being in the middle because the comments be saying that when y'all two there, I'll be antagonizing y'all or like being an instigator by being in the middle. But I generally be seeing some of the things. So I feel like Chet couldn't be too frustrated because I don't think he did a good enough job. I mean, Vic did a good enough job of demanding that basketball. Because when we saw him swing the basketball, Chet ran over to kind of throw them off by like shading high or act like he's doubling whatever. But it gave enough space and time to where somebody else had to switch on Vic. But as soon as my defender, if I'm 7'5" and I'm Victor Wembanyama, as soon as my defender leaves and he's the biggest guy on the court, I'm darting my ass to that paint because there's nothing but vulnerability down there. Yeah. He somehow only ended at the elbow. And then it made the pass to get him to swing the ball back around a lot harder. But when he made his spin move, that's an easy lob.
Yeah.
But then my question to ask KB and them, why is Blake Wesley in the game? No offense,
now,
Blake
that's
Wesley,
a whole different
but that's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing.
But a lot of these times, it is difficult to give him the ball because of the people he was on the floor with. But in the times where I think he can go get the ball, he don't do enough to demand it.
Now, this is like a comparison to it that I think that just comes down to personnel on the floor and just kind of like knowing Wemby. This is the comparison to Steph and the Warriors when they kind of brought a couple people in. And I think this was when they first brought like Wiggins in and they had like a bad year or whatever. There was a lot of times where like a player would catch the ball and Steph was coming because they were trying to finish the play. They already were shooting the ball because they didn't even know
This is like Kelly Oubre and them, right?
Yeah, it's like Kelly Oubre's already shooting the shot, even though it's like he got a little look, I'm going to shoot it versus like kind of waiting the extra couple seconds for Steph. I think about that a lot with Wemby. It's just like there's probably times where he's working his way in, but people are just like, you know what? I'm going to probably shoot this shot before he can kind of get to that spot. And I think that's where the frustration comes in. It's the patience to not look for him.
But I also think the patience could be a lot shorter if you're not by the hash.
That's
at
another
7'5".
He's a floater. And that is my major criticism with him as a player. The problem is when he plays against a good coach, they're going to just make it way too difficult for him to really pop off the way we want him to, because they guarded him just like the way Drew Holiday guards centers in the playoffs, where we're going to let Drew Holiday guard the 5-man, and then Porzingis, you be your roamer. Chet Holmgren roamed that entire game long and made Caruso. It impossible. And Alex Caruso comes off the bench, and he always does that. It just happens time and time again. Now, what happened very next game, and they went against a team that doesn't have the defensive infrastructure.
He had one of those games.
He had a 5-by-5 game with 30 points, and it's like, it's going to be tougher for him, but I 100% agree. I want to see him be more aggressive and use his length and his frame more. But also on the same token, it's like, I got to play, no disrespect, with Blake Wesley on the court for 15 minutes a game who's not looking for me.
When I say why Blake Wesley is on the court, it's not in disrespectful
to
way.
him. It's like
I just don't think he may be ready yet. And when I see the roster, you have Trey Jones is still hurt, but you have Chris Paul, you have Branham, you have Stephon Castle. You have certain guys who I think will be willing and able to make the play. I don't know if Blake Wesley is even like aware that Vic was open because of the type of player that he is. He's a scoring attacking guard. That's why you drafted him out of Notre Dame, because he had performances at Notre Dame where you was like, this kid is motivated and going to get to where he wants to go to. You didn't look at Blake Wesley and his scouting report for the draft and say, man, the way he set this table, he gonna get Vic that ball. No, that's not
also,
what you did.
To defend Blake Wesley a little bit, it was also like 3 seconds.
It was.
So his mind's probably like, I just got to get a shot up.
Yeah. And I think he was past the ball too.
Yes, he was.
They swung the ball.
They swung it. So he's not even the bad person here.
But
it wasn't Chris.
No. Wait, did Blake Wesley take the shot or did he pass to that corner?
I'm about to find out.
Because Chris Paul got the ball back from Vic, and Chris Paul one-mored it. Somebody tried to drive and then had to kick it. And when they drove, it should have been the pass to Vic.
That was Wednesday night, right? Yes, Wednesday night. Okay.
So, but I just want to see that from Vic. And I think we have to see what happens is everybody was so ready for Vic to take the step that we kind of passed a lot of these stages, and I get it. But now it's time to kind of dial it back a little bit, and I think people are afraid to because they think that they're going to get some backlash by saying you're not a Vic believer, and then once he pops off, people are going to bring up old. I don't give a hell. I don't give a damn.
I've been tweeted calling people saying that I went from a Spurs fan to now being a Vic hater.
A Vic hater, right?
And I'm just like,
we did a TikTok where we had to talk about who has been more important to the franchise, and because the TikToks get edited, I said, unfortunately, Sabonis over DeMarcus Cousins. There is no context on why I said unfortunately. So if somebody said, here go Pete being a Sabonis hater again, like I don't have 1,000 tweets supporting Sabonis since the day he walked into the NBA. So they went back like, boy, you stupid. Because the reason I was saying unfortunately is because DeMarcus Cousins is the easy answer if we got a chance to see DeMarcus Cousins on a team that the Kings have now.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's not even a conversation for DeMarcus because Sabonis is on a team that's been winning. It's like, so I wasn't saying unfortunately like I don't rock with Sabonis, but y'all be so busy and so quick to dick eat, mine and the people we talking about, that y'all don't even take 2 seconds to think. I have no reason to hate any NBA player. My check is the same. Then we get a guest, and I show mad love, and now I'm a Glazer to Gilbert Arenas or whoever else we have. You can't win up here.
You can't do nothing.
You can't do nothing. I have a job to do. If somebody is not playing up to their ability or a team, we have a job to assess it and talk about it. I don't give a damn how much you've been rooting for the team. If your favorite player come out, hey, man, my favorite players have gotten ethered. I couldn't live, basically, in public when Paul George was hitting the side of the backboard. But we had to come up here and we had to criticize him. We had to talk about it. We had to be critical. And I had to be a part of that, even though he's my favorite player. Ben Simmons was one of my guys, still is one of my guys, even though he's not even as productive. But once I rock with you, I rock with you. I'm still an Austin Rivers guy. That's me. He's not even in the league no more. Yep. Ben Simmons passed the ball on Trae Young. We had to get up here and talk about it. I had to be able to say, damn, that was crazy. I couldn't come up here and say, but man, you know, Trae get you on a sneaky block. I can't say that. That's what y'all be doing. When we come up here and criticize, but come on, P. I mean, Vic, he's not strong enough to get down to the block, so he has to take 8 threes.
Man, that
fuck out of here, man.
Him taking that like so many jumpers and kind of bailing teams out. That's the one thing that does strike me with Vic. It's just like, I know you probably could add a little bit more muscle and make it easier for yourself, but you just need like one dribble, bro, and you at the rim.
Every time I try to think of that to excuse it for him, I just watch Chet. And I see Chet is not no physically imposing guy, and he gets to where he want to go to.
It's a lot easier.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
it is. It for sure is. But when you're one of those guys, this is a guy that they gave a 90-some overall to. This is a guy that, you know, people talk.
ESPN top 10.
But you know what's the crazy
over
thing
Anthony Davis?
You have to be able. This is a part of being the guy. You're going to probably be on some teams that you might have to carry. Teams are going to scheme against you. They're going to make it as difficult as possible.
I think a lot of players get 2 to 3 year window where you get babied in the eyes of the public, and then eventually that changes. Where it's like, okay, now let's see some production.
The only reason I don't like that is because they baby you and then they try to tear you down.
There's
no reason to be tearing Vic down because they're gonna try to do it in 2 or 3 years. He ain't gonna win a playoff series as fast as Chet, and they're gonna be like, man, look at Chet playoff wins as he don't play with Shea and J-Dub. He does play with the Spurs. I give him a bunch of slack for that, but at the same time, I'm only speaking on what's, you know, what we want to see for him to be great, because we want every player to be. There's not one time we had a conversation like, hey, KB, you know who I hope to fail? Jaden Ivey. I hope the Pistons missed on that pick. I hope he's not successful in his career. No, nobody does that. But you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just calling out the things that we want to see, and we don't know it all either. I'm not a coach. Just giving you what I think, though.
Mm-hmm. He started off his rookie season pretty slow as well. So maybe he's just one of those dudes that comes in and
that could be that.
He got to get his legs underneath him.
Being not the best version.
I just want the game to be simple for him, man. When you're that skilled at that size with that agile ability, if you just make the game as simple as possible for him, I think he's an extremely productive player even at this early stage in his career. And to make it simple is to get as close as you can to that basket. And then the cherry on top is to then be able, because even when he shoots all these threes, he don't be making them.
That's what I was saying. Like, for somebody, and like, you could put the smaller, like Alex Caruso's or whatever, but like, that's especially too when you're just kind of standing there, like trying to be at the top of the key. Get closer to the damn basket. Like, it is when you sound like an old head, but like, bro, you don't need the ball all the time to move around on the court. Get your ass by that block, and I promise you, you're gonna be at somebody's mercy.
And I'm not against him exploring his game and getting better in all facets.
It's needed, but it's a limit.
When you're struggling to get going, no matter even if you ain't 7'4", 7'5", I would tell that to a 6'2" guard. Get to the basket and get to the free throw line and let the game give you some easier ones to get yourself going. But yeah, like, don't shoot yourself into a even larger slump. That was my thing with Bam. When I had brought up Bam, it's because that 6 or 17 game, he was so focused on proving to himself that he can make this mid-range shot that he started to be 6 or 17.
That's how it feels for Vic when he's like, he's struggling to shoot from 3, and he just keeps kind of like letting them fly.
I'm going to show to myself
like,
that I'm
going to
make one
this
of these.
shot.
Yeah, and it's just like
bro,
before you know it, we look up and you 1 of 8 from 3.
All that, he now has 2 5-for-5 games in 70-something games of his career.
Yeah, crazy.
Ridiculous.
I would just, again, it's going to make me sound like a hater. I don't care. I wish I would have got that game against Chet.
Yeah, I love the 5. I love all those statistics like that 2020 game. Triple doubles have kind of watered down, but still I enjoy triple double, 5x5.
I want that to be a rivalry. I get what you're saying though, Darrick, but I do want that to be a rivalry.
Yeah,
because they done got it.
It just don't feel like a rivalry.
Wait till they get Cooper Flag.
They got into it in one of them games,
didn't they?
Then they get into it like a preseason game or a summer league game. They was playing against each other, and they kind of got into it. Yeah, they pushed each other or something.
Oh, shit. I ain't know.
Y'all keep talking.
If they were to go into a ring, who y'all got and how many rounds?
Chet and Vic?
Chet and Vic.
I would probably take Vic just because he probably got the little bit more arm reach.
I'm taking Chet because he's more coordinated with his arm reach. Rudy Gobert, whatever he was trying to do to Christian Brown, that shit was
You just saying the French 7-footers got no
He was trying to punch him and put him in a headlock.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was trying to do.
I think I don't know either. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know what he was trying to do either.
I don't know.
It seemed like NBA players always miss their punches.
But I don't think that's why I don't think he was actually trying to punch him.
He was trying to shove him off.
Something.
Christian Brown, as soon as he dunked, he was doing like he looked like he was doing that
funny?
damn Zion emote.
Christian Brown this morning said he never tried to taunt Rudy.
It looked like he did. I ain't gonna lie.
Come on.
But I don't think he tried. I can see what he's saying.
Me
The
too.
objective is not to taunt Rudy, but like I just dunked on somebody,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm a scream. It just so happened Rudy is also 6 inches away.
Because Rudy does what Rudy does. The best thing I think or anybody can do when they get dunked on is act like it didn't happen. Just go on the next play.
Yeah.
I love when people do that because they don't even get it.
Like when LeBron dunked on Tatum. I mean, when Tatum dunked on LeBron in that playoff series and Tatum bumped him, LeBron just he act like it didn't
But I
happen.
think Bron also understood the moment a little bit. Rudy a little sensitive at times, but Rudy walked in his, and he didn't move out the way or anything or go into the play. He was
y'all saw the slow down angle where Russ ran in and Rudy didn't like
the
jump.
flinching. Yep.
Like goddamn, boy, you a 4 foot taller.
Bro, I swear MPJ or Aaron Gordon had ran over there too, and like they had kind of like moved Russ out the way. And you know, Aaron Gordon and MPJ, they are big dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're 6'9", 6'10". I swear that he had elbow Russ in the head because Russ was like just standing down there. I'm like, bro, Russ just caught an elbow for no reason.
Did y'all see Jokic's response to the dunk? Like he was hella emotional with it, like screaming, running down
Bro, it
court.
was that. It's not going to be dunk of the year, but it's going to go probably down as like one of those dark horse candidates because the moment of that, and it's just a regular season game, but this was a super close game. And
On the
then
DPOY.
for him, yeah,
it's a good
that was a
one.
really big moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a rim protector, you're gonna get dunked on.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
Rudy Gobert should know he's gonna get dunked on sometimes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
cannot
it happens.
find it, Derek, but there was something with these two dudes.
I got
They PR teams.
They like pushed each other or something. or bumped
PR
into
teams.
I got
it.
another buy or sell.
Even
too.
Paul George on his show asked Chet about the beef with Wemby. Chet Holmgren gets candid about his battles against Victor Wembanyama. Beef with Wemby explained. I don't know, but it was something little. They weren't fighting and no shit.
This is my last buy or sell. Norman Powell don't see nothing but opportunity. 25 points per game so far.
He don't see nothing but a green light.
They letting that boy shoot.
I don't think he's gonna average 25. But he could definitely average a dub.
Yeah, he
Would
can
his
average
production prevent you from throwing him in a trade if somebody came available?
No.
Wait, say that again. What you mean?
Because he's averaging 25, he's shooting all the shots, hitting big shots. You know, the Clippers are not going to be a team to fold. They want to continue to build. And in order to go get Brandon Ingram, Zach LaVine, he has to be in a trade.
Oh yeah, I want him to say.
Yeah, I want
25.
him to continue to do this.
Because Chicago, he go Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, we got Zach LaVine.
Ship it all of their ass to a third team, please. We ain't got room for him.
Yeah,
We need somebody to take Patrick Williams minutes, though. Holy shit. Once you get paid, you are no longer a kid.
I don't know what. The only thing with him is like sometimes we can talk through things. We just talked about Chet. There is some explanation behind certain things. We talk about Vic. There's some explanation behind things. I can't find anyone I'll be tuning in to Patrick Williams.
Bro, I just be happy when I see him make a move and he doesn't travel. Because it damn it look like he travel every time he make a
I
move.
just did his rookie season. He still ain't fixed that.
Yeah, when do you see him make moves though?
No, this is the problem, though. He'll miss 4 jumpers, and he'll say, I got to see something go in. I got to see something go in. I'm going to do a fadeaway on 2 dudes and hit the damn glass from the corner. Yesterday was such awful basketball.
He should
from
never
him,
be
bro,
doing nothing on 2 dudes.
that in my mind, the Brooklyn Nets went with a bigger lineup. They got some big wings. Ben Simmons, Claxton, they weren't on the court together, but they got a lot of big wings. And I'm thinking to myself, get our only wing on the team off the court and put a guard in, please. Because we need somebody that can do something. And last year, he also started off really slow and eventually shot 40% from 3. Some of the catch-and-shoot threes he took were from 30 feet for no fucking reason. And I'm like, what are we doing? And defensively, he's the only guy that guards these bigger guys, so sure, whatever. Paolo still dropped 30 on his head, but it's frustrating as hell. Because there's so many positive things about the Bulls right now. Zach LaVine's trade, about 50, 40, 88, 81 candidate. He looks phenomenal. Vucevic can't miss. He's a trade candidate for somebody. And then one of the young dudes that we should be excited about just got an extension, looks like ass. And then a lot of the dudes we also drafted, Dalen Terry is out of the rotation, D. Millie.
Yeah, I know.
It's over. It's done. He was right outside the lottery. It's done.
Why was he in the rotation?
Because we drafted him right outside the lottery. And he's a bigger body, so you can say that he's a 3.
I was very glad when y'all got him.
I got to remember who was right after him. Because, I hope it wasn't a Jalen Hood-Schifino thing where right after him was Jaime Jaquez and a bunch of good players.
I bet it was.
Oh, man, don't tell me. Let's see. Dalen Terry.
It looked like y'all had got y'all a little bit of a steal.
At 18th overall.
He was hooping in Summer League, wasn't he?
Who knows?
He was hooping at Arizona.
So right after him was Jake LaRavia, Malachi Branham, Christian Brown, Walker Kessler, Big Body David Roddy, Marjon Beauchamp. A lot of these dudes, I mean,
his rookie year, you would have been like Walker Kessler.
For sure. And even now, Walker Kessler looks better this year than last year for sure. Even Christian Brown is a miss. Yeah, I would love Christian Brown here in Chicago, but that's it. He was right after our boy Tari Eason, though, so we just missed out on Tari Eason by one. And then, if we going deep into the draft, like Nembhard is 31, but I don't think he had a market. Yeah, he didn't have a market that early on. Okay. That's it? As far as NBA stuff?
Yeah, that's it, man.
You want to talk about Love is Blind?
Come on, let's get to it, Darrick.
Reunion.
Is this the last episode?
Yeah.
It was the reunion, man.
My girl was watching the reunion yesterday. I seen it.
What was
I wasn't watching it, but
was she reacting to anything?
Not that I remember of.
Anybody else watch it? Austin, you watch it? Love is Blind?
Oh.
No, it's just y'all.
Okay. So
Not that I seen her really react to it, but I did catch the clip or like the moment where the dude, whoever was talking about money all the time, named like Johnny.
Leo?
Yeah, he was talking about. He's like, man, I was watching it back, and
he started to do it again.
He was like, man, I didn't know I actually just talked about money that whole time. And the other guys was like, yeah, he's actually a good dude. He just So I seen the guy that was talking about money all the time, and then I seen that dude with the two red tails. But that's basically all I seen in the reunion.
You want to start with Hannah and
well,
Nick?
I'm starting wherever. I'm letting you lead us, brother.
Hannah and Nick was one of the more intriguing storylines of this whole show, and to see Hannah came in with a plan, and it was very obvious. She's been getting a lot of hate online, so her plan at the reunion was to try to make Nick look like the bad guy. That was her whole plan, and it didn't work. Because the shit she was saying was stupid.
It didn't work, but it did. The part that worked, where I think a lot of people, is when her and Marissa and some of the other girls
said that he was talking bad about her.
Yeah.
But where it doesn't work is that Hannah on TV said that Nick was not her typical guy and that she wasn't really that attractive.
Because she thought he was going to be a football player. Yeah.
She said that about him on TV. The fact that he said something to his homies and that it got back to her. Now she talking about the reason she was so mean to him because she was feeling insecure. But you can go out and say, oh, he don't look that good to me.
I just love how passionate you get about this.
I love how I turn to you because I'm calming myself down because I was heated.
It's just funny. It's just funny how much of a hypocrite she could be sometimes.
And you know what's so funny? And I don't want to make this a men versus women thing at all because I love my women out in the world and men. I love my dogs and men, but men can be crazy. Women can be too. I hate how all of the women there were so quick to be in each other's business and to support shit without holding the other people accountable. So like Marissa, you're so willing and able to be there for what Hannah is saying about what's his name? Nick. And like she was passionate about it. Yeah. But when it was time to say thing about Hannah, she was very quick. Like, I can admit Hannah has times as a bitch. No, stay on that topic.
Yeah.
Have the energy. If you're being Mrs. Accountability, hold your friend. Don't just say I can admit she's being a bitch. No, let's dive into let's be real specific because y'all diving in on Nick business. The girl who was dating Steven, who did the weird. Monica, you wanted to give 2 cents when it was focused on Nick. Where's your 2 cents to all of the shit Hannah did? And that was my biggest problem with Hannah is she started off in a way where I thought it could be better because she was saying, I watched it back and I saw certain things.
Didn't she stand on business, though?
But she stood on business.
That's what I was going to say. I don't really know her because I ain't watched the rest of it, but she looked like she stood on business because she was like, man, I was just being upfront and telling you how it is.
She said she's being direct.
Those type of people are the worst and the most dangerous people. People who say, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
If it's me and you, Mike, that's just how you are. You don't owe me. We're just friends. But when it comes to Elena, that's your partner who you have to spend a serious amount of time with for the rest of your life. That's just who I am. Ain't always going to work in a relationship thing. Yeah. If Nick and people around you, and you saw for yourself, are saying that a person that you may be spending the rest of your life with, you're disrespecting them or being a certain way to them, you can't just say that's just how I am.
There's got to be something in
You
a
good.
relationship.
We're not gonna pick up none of them sounds from back then.
In a relationship, it's got to be a compromise, like a middle ground, reach or somewhere. At least to respect that I have to be a little bit different from my significant
You know
Absolutely.
what blew me about Melissa? She's about Hannah's been mean to me before.
Yeah, that
What that mean?
that just means you're being a dick riding friend. You're not a good friend.
Why would you admit your friend is rude and mean to you, but you just accept it and you just
That's being a bad friend.
yeah.
When you love people, even things that you don't want to have to talk about, you address it because it's from love. If there's a time where I'm doing too much and y'all say, hey, man, that's from love. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have friends and family around you that only gloat to you or like nah. If I cross a line about something, one of y'all should love me enough to be able to say, hey, you ain't have to go off on Mike like that, or you ain't have to beat his ass 100-25 in a 2K game. That's
It's gonna be way different when it's somebody, one of us, or somebody in your family telling you something versus somebody you seen in the comment or something.
right.
Like
Yeah,
that.
it's
always gonna be hit
home.
different when it's somebody you actually care about.
And it's always accepted when it's like it's genuine. Because sometimes the thing with the internet, why I don't come off genuine to creators or people with platforms, is because the people on the internet nitpick. They try to find something to say about you because they have to.
Yeah, that's
Versus
true.
like your friends are gonna be like, hold up now, you do you, but come on, bro, you ain't have to do that.
Yeah.
But that was my biggest thing. I feel like the women tried to gang up on Nick with that one thing that you said with the plan, and I could accept it if they were consistent with her. You can't be quiet while we're bringing up the flaws of your friend that were extremely more heavier than what y'all accusing the Nick of. Hannah, come on, man. Another thing too, Darrick.
What's up?
Nick got them with this.
What do you say?
Am I that bad of a guy with all of this shit that y'all saying? She hit me up after, and we went.
Yeah.
We
And then you know what Melissa did? Talking about I've been fucking Ramsey this whole what? What?
and they tried to blame it on insecurity. Hey, everybody in the world has insecurities. I don't care who. It's all about how you handle them and show them. But being secure is not a reason or a good enough excuse to go back to these dudes that y'all are saying are that bad of men. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She talking about she wanted to go see if the physical intimacy was still there or some shit like that.
Marissa said that?
No, Hannah said that. And I'm just like,
but it would make sense if you didn't come back and try to trash the dude and say he called you a grenade. So even after him calling you a grenade.
I was crying, laughing in my room. He's like, because that was one of the topics is that she got called a grenade. And I was like, have you ever, I was talking to Elena, I was like,
Jersey Shore.
Have you ever heard somebody call like a grenade? And she's like, yeah, Jersey Shore.
So
I seen somebody say that, like, it was like people from Jersey snap when they call people a grenade.
Yeah.
That sounds just
That's
extra
crazy.
disrespectful.
Yeah, it's super disrespectful. But it's like, even after knowing him calling you a grenade, you still went and linked with them and like had sex. Like, not just linked and had dinner to get closer. You was having sex with him and stuff. Like, so don't come up on a show now and try to take some shoulder off you because everybody looking at you a certain way. Even other things she brought up. Yeah, girls are showing me that you DM. His response was great. So I don't give a fuck.
That blew me because I'm like, y'all must remove from this engagement. So what are you talking to girls?
Yeah, well, I don't give a so.
You know what that told me? She was still insecure. She's
been insecure. Everything about her shows insecurity. She looks like an entirely different person.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this show with D Mills.
I'm just like, how you mad a single
man? I really
man?
wish me and D Mills could have like a watch party with this shit.
Imagine being mad a single
You
man.
just be in the
DMing
Discord.
girls. Every single man is probably DMing girls. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. He's supposed to, right?
Yeah. Now you testing the waters. Why wouldn't you? Networking. You're networking.
Who the next people we talking about? I was very
Steven was he blew me a little bit when
let's be careful. I hope he ain't blow you.
Oh my God.
I'm just playing. People be pissing me off with that too.
I feel like only people not from Chicago be bringing that up when he's like, oh, he blew me the other day.
They don't know what that is.
When they asked him what was in those text messages that he was sending that was kinky to the girl that he was talking to, and he talking about something, I don't know, I deleted them. I'm just like,
just a bitch.
Just lying.
Yeah, that's a bitch ass. That's some bitch ass shit.
Everybody know you know.
Yeah.
If you could recite everything that happened that night.
Yeah.
But you cannot remember the text messages.
He did that with her too, though.
Yeah.
And when that was happening, he was like, I forgot.
He lied. You know, he also went against what he had just said. He said, when he said he deleted those text messages, he then later said, I never delete my text threads.
He did say that.
He's funny.
D Mills be key. Hey, if you took notes like this about the basketball games, because I'm forgetting some shit. And that was one of the things. Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, he literally said, I keep every text thread, but then he said he deleted those messages. I'm just like.
And then it was like he was finna act like he was finna answer, and he was like, well, since nothing I'm gonna say gonna change anything anyway, I might as well not say anything. You were saying some real, and then it made it even weirder, like, I never even met that person.
That's such a manipulative thing to say.
Yeah, he said he never met the person either.
He's talking about anything I say not gonna change, so I might not just develop. That's
I
crazy
might as well say not say nothing.
A part of that I felt, though, because the girl he was with, she wasn't trying to hear shit.
Yeah,
I really don't think it was anything he could have said.
Messages, so at that point, she kind of.
In other words, that just reminds me of like. It's you like a girl go through a dude's phone and she see all this and he asks me, he's like, well, you could believe what you want to believe. Like, that's the you caught me?
Yeah,
so is it you gonna forgive me?
Believe whatever you want to believe then. You ain't never loved me then. You believe in what they saying, you never loved me then. That is extremely crazy. He never care about me. If this all it take, what was the love wasn't even real then. But
I did think it was interesting that Melissa's mom, after being
Marissa.
After being an asshole to Ramsey when they sat at that dinner table, that she was the one who drove to the city to try to convince them to go through with the
But she said she did that on behalf of her daughter.
Yeah.
She said she wanted to punch him in his throat, but because that's her daughter, which again goes back, sometimes when you love people, you have to. There's been plenty of people that family members and people dating or have people that you don't like, but it's like, if you're making my cousin or my sister or whoever that happy, I'll keep my mouth closed. I won't say nothing.
I wonder what her mom was saying, because in all honesty, if I'm Ramses, you already left a sour taste in my mouth. So why would I even?
You just left an even sour taste in their mouth.
Yeah. So
and it was so funny, Darrick, because they had their whole thing, and it seemed like it was about to go to the next couple. And they said, "Is there anything left y'all want to say?" And he said, "Yeah, I want to make one thing clear." Because I was I'm looking at Dane, I said, listen, man, I kept telling everybody how their engagement to me was called off about the sex. You see how he was ready to defend himself because he know what it looked from the TV. It looked like he called off his sex. So they was about to move on and say anything. Like, I want to make one thing clear. I know what it looked like. I wasn't trying to pressure her. It wasn't about the sex. Hey, man. They must have did a really good editing job, because that's what I took from it. If it really felt like the minute that condom stuff got involved, the trajectory of their relationship went downhill.
Melissa didn't seem like she denied. Like, she kind of agreed with him. Like, she was nodding her head with him.
The only thing else that stood out was when they went out with her friends and she is with the army or military. He don't agree with that.
Yeah.
That was the only other confliction that it seemed like they had. But
yeah, he didn't believe in the U.S. the U.S. military as being like
he was dry.
Good thing.
On a reunion, he didn't really give much. No, he just talked in circles. So it was like, it didn't really seem like he wanted to be there. Oh, another thing with Hannah and them. Nick wrote, "Be the most famous person from Love is Blind."
Yeah.
They act like that was a big deal. I literally had heard, I forget the host of his name.
The dude that hosts?
Yeah, he's a snake. He used to date Jessica Simpson, I think. But one of the things he said was like, man, this is something you can make. You can make something for yourself out of this. And then they tried to flip 20 minutes later as if Nick was wrong for saying he wanted to be famous or be one of the biggest. Everybody's goal went on that show was to get some type of benefit from clout or fame.
Yeah, you see a lot of people grow and become influencers off of that.
That's everybody's goal, is to walk away from that show. So for them to act like that was a big deal, oh, we really came to find love, and it seemed like you stop it.
Hannah's literally posting on TikTok daily. If she didn't care about the platform that she's grown, she wouldn't be posting.
Tyler, their situation, it didn't seem like
we got anything. That was so weird.
So weird.
Because, like, how does the internet have more? Like, they seem like they have more of a story. And then the baby mama herself even said that they dated and that they consensually had that baby. So was the baby mama lying? Did y'all not have that baby?
The baby mama didn't lie, but it seemed like they came to a conclusion amongst themselves as a married couple. and they got whatever they needed, and that was all that mattered to them. And so, you know, she was saying that the internet be saying certain things like, you think I don't know? I'm the wife or whatever. And it seemed like she's okay with some of the shit, I guess, too. So, you know, if he ain't taking care of them kids, she like, they ain't mine. That's what.
And if that's the case, that's bogus.
That's bogus as hell.
That's bogus as hell.
I would never be with a person that don't give a damn about their kids and think they gonna be any different with my kid. Even if they are different with my kid, that's still some shitty human shit to do.
Yeah, you got two kids over there that you just abandoned
to be with me, and I'm over here just loving it. That sound crazy. So I looked at them weird for that as well. And I kind of told it when we was at Ivy's birthday party. I brought her up like, do y'all think the reunion is recorded closer to today's date, and that would be a relevant conversation for us to find things out? And everybody was like, yeah. I wasn't surprised that they didn't go into that. I didn't want to get my hopes up high. They talked around that shit so smoothly.
Yeah, it seemed like they knew how they was gonna talk about it, and he started crying and shit. You
said, "Oh, girl looked horrible." Dana said the same thing. I didn't even really peep as much until y'all both said it, and I'm like, damn, I can see it.
Brittany literally looks like a fake. Like she literally looks fake. Doesn't even look like a real, like she looks like she was just made in the lab.
Damn. Her body was two-tones. Her titties was dark. Her face was light.
Yeah.
Her titties was big as hell. I understand boob jobs is, you know, but Dana was like, that boob job, they didn't look that good.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't understand her whole trophy wife dream.
Are they together or what? I couldn't really. They sat on two different couches and.
Her and Leo?
Yeah.
No, they're not together. No. They said in the show that they're still like best friends.
Oh, okay.
She said they even talk on the phone for hours sometime, and
so never mind.
And then like apparently like she's dating someone else.
Yo, he's a Simpson. He took on a trip, probably took a shopping, and she was like, "Oh, I got what I needed."
The Homer.
He was so happy to see how she looked. You could tell he ain't used to getting anything that's like. He was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so fucking hot." Kissing on her, you're so sexy. I don't know if there's any other couple. Was there? What's his name? Got long hair. Garrett had the long hair.
Yeah, he did. He's definitely changed his whole style around.
He was sticking up for Nick.
He was.
He was sticking up for Nick. Shout out to him. And then Tim and the other girl. I don't know.
They so toxic.
Yeah, man.
They toxic as hell. I think he stopped liking her when he walked into her apartment and saw it was messy. Because he's the clean dude.
I stopped like that too. You don't have to be as clean as me, but if we and you just met on this show, Love is Blind, and we're about to get married, you're not trying to make any impression. You didn't pick up any of this shit. You didn't even try.
Somebody was like, she couldn't have asked one of her homegirls to go home and clean up real quick before I came, or like something.
She sat in that shit comfortably.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing. I'm talking about hoodies, like just, you know how you might have some shit around the first time you and Elena started dating. You might have tried to make some effort. Yeah. Nah, she looked like she made it dirtier.
Well, black people love making them first impressions or whatever. It's on Everybody Hates Chris. He was like, you need to clean up. We don't no, she's like, you got to take care of them bugs. He said, we got the roaches people coming later. He's like, right, I don't want them to think we got roaches.
That's weird. That's definitely some black food.
AD received some heat.
My mom used to do that every holiday when family was coming. One time, my mama had me washing the walls.
Oh, yeah, I've done that before.
I'm like, Ma, these is our family. They'll be okay. She like, hell no. I'm damn, man. But what happened?
AD got some heat.
Why?
Because she
just sat in the crowd.
Because when Hannah stood on business, and she was like, period.
I kind of felt like that was her way of saying, I ain't finna get into this shit. It's like, hey, she's standing on business. But I could see that.
People was coming. I went to her IG, and people in her comment section saying, oh, so you standing up for an abusive woman now, or stuff like her comment sections are like.
Damn, do you think Hannah was abusive? What would you think? I don't know if I would. That word is so strong.
Yeah, it is strong. People are essentially calling her abusive, like at least mentally, just from the way that she was talking to Nick. A lot of people were saying that what she does is like triggering.
It is triggering. I was saying some wild shit.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that like it like makes them think of like previous relationships they was in that was toxic or abusive.
Then if that's the case, then they're not doing too much. It's just for me personally, it don't trigger nothing of a PTSD for me. But if it does for other people, I get it. Yeah. I just think that we get in a town where we throw around words so loosely that are so strong, you know, like that. Abusive is, you got to be careful if you're throwing it on somebody's name. Just like they not like us.
Yeah.
You gotta be sure. I ain't putting that on no man name if I ain't 100% sure. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole different conversation. That's was really it with all the couples, right?
Yeah, that was pretty much
Season
it.
was weak to me.
Yeah, they showed the new cast for the next one that comes
Did they?
out. On,
I didn't even see.
Oh yeah, they showed three people.
Oh, I
they
fell
showed
asleep.
the whole.
That's why I don't know the rest of this shit. Like I fell asleep at the very end.
Yeah, the next one it was filmed in Minneapolis.
When they gonna come to Chicago?
They already did Chicago.
Oh,
I think the first season was in Chicago.
Okay. See, I missed the first 6 seasons.
I think it's the first one or the second one is based in Chicago.
Okay.
But yeah, they showed 3 of the people. It was like 2 white dudes and 1 black girl. They supposed to be the 3 people that's in the next one. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. It comes out on Valentine's Day, I think.
Damn, they getting this
already
shit
filmed
out.
it.
Yeah, they getting this shit out.
So I'm excited to see what it turns out.
Fantasy football.
I got a big week ahead.
How was your past week?
You lost already.
Oh, he playing you?
Mm-hmm. He had 2 players play for 7 points or something.
And you had Garrett Wilson.
I had Garrett Wilson.
Did he play?
He had 2 tutties.
Yeah,
Did he play though?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I remember the lineup.
Yeah, that was so bad for me.
He said you lost already.
Conklin had 2 good games, and he came out and gave me 0.2.
Ooh.
CJ Stroud gave me 11. He's been pretty ass this
A
season.
big uphill battle.
Yeah, CJ Stroud, these last 3 weeks has been mid. He gave me 5 against Green Bay, 12 against Indy, 11 against New York.
Guys been getting on your ass. You know that?
Why?
Because Devontae Adams had a good game and you went and accepted that trade. They saying you
Yeah,
dirty
that
as
was
hell for that.
No,
crazy.
honestly, I didn't know when that trade came through. I just looked at it, and then I wanted to try to modify it, but I accidentally accepted it. That's why I texted Terrence at like 3 a.m, like reject that trade, because I was looking at it like at late as hell at night.
Because I talked to some guys.
I was
and they
trying to
Oh,
look
that
at
trade
it.
didn't go through?
No, I texted Terrence
Oh.
immediately, reject that trade.
Oh. I had remember seeing it, but I never remember seeing. Oh, it does says pending trade was canceled. Okay. Because I was looking at it, I was like, you want ETN and Bigsby?
No.
I was like,
That's why I said I was trying to modify it, but it was
Did
late
you
as
win
hell
last
at
week?
night. Yeah, I did win last week. We
yeah.
we won on Najee Harris and George Pickens.
Okay.
Yeah, I would essentially just had to hope that KB's, the rest of his guys just don't.
How many
they
points
don't-
you
they
have?
don't do
18
shit.
to 7?
There's
25
25
to, like-
to 11 right now.
Oh, okay.
You
What's
need
the
a tight
percentage?
end?
I know the projections don't matter.
83%.
Mills, you need a
right now,
tight end?
My favor.
Huh?
You need a tight end. I got 2 good ones.
What's your offer?
What you got that's willing to give up?
You know,
This is why your league pissed me off because this how the trades be. I be like, hey, I put everybody on my team
Bro,
on the
you-
block, and people be like, look at my roster. No, offer me a trade.
You know
And
what the
let
thing
me
that get
know.
me though?
What?
They say, look at the trades. Look at the trade. Like, is this a good trade? They attach like 3 first-round picks on it. I'm like, bro, we're not doing no trade where you
Yeah.
trying to get an upgrade because you doing a haul of picks. Like, it just don't
Yeah,
work
nah,
like that.
nah.
We not going to be
Those
here
picks
4
don't really-
years in
Exactly.
2028 when that pick is
Yeah.
coming. Like,
It's
we're just
always
not
a
doing
goofy
that.
that's like, I got 4 first-round picks though.
Yeah.
like that really means something.
Yeah, we keep having to educate.
It's
people
not
on
real
that.
life.
If you send me an offer and I like it, I accept it.
I need
That's
I
the
don't
way it
think-
works.
I need a solid running back. Just somebody I think that can
Well,
come off
Darrick
the
been
bench
trying
forever.
to-
What you call it?
Trying to
Trying
bro,
to
trying to
trade
stop
Alvin.
sending me trades without talking to me, bro.
Why?
Because they're never ever even okay.
Yeah, your trades are bad, bro.
Here's RB2, and the reason he's RB2 because he had a 40-point game once upon a time. For RB5 and wide receiver 6.
This is exactly how your
Yeah.
trades be. I'll give you Conklin and I'll give you him for Derrick Henry. Like what?
I got 0 interest in Alvin Kamara. 0.
Who was the
Zero?
players for?
0. If he was on the waiver, I wouldn't even put $1 in fab on him.
Who was the players
That's
for?
that just.
I'm just talking. It was James Conner and Drake London. Who Drake London is like the wide receiver 7 right now.
He is number 7.
Yeah, it's like that's a very good player. And right now I'm okay with my team. It would take a lot for me to make a trade.
There's a new discovery and the numbers on the board. Group chat, y'all. Guys trying to rap again.
Yep.
So I'm putting that out there publicly. KB, Mike, Derrick, always talking about some beats and bets.
It's really just been me pushing to make it happen.
It has been.
But I'm not the guy that's gonna find the beats. I'm just
Well,
a guy
this
that
is
will.
my second time finding these beats.
And I'm the only one that thumbs up the one you put in the chat.
You did.
So
That's fine though, because like I said in the voice memo, It don't have to be a situation where all 4 people on a song. We can do a little EP or a mixtape, and yeah, some of the songs could just be me and KB. Some of the songs could be me, KB, Darrick, me, KB, Mike. I just know for the people at home, I'm going to assume that I'm going to be on every single one because I'm the one finding the beats. And I'm probably not going to send anything that I couldn't rap to. So,
I didn't even see that. I said Betsy.
I literally made that song, though, for you.
Yeah, he
Even
did.
if you listen to like the hook I sent or whatever, it referenced you, and it's about like smoking and being laid back.
I did as the next thing I seen after I said bet was Darrick putting that Instagram picture of LeBron in there, where it's live from LeBron. So
yeah,
LeBron. So no, I'm listening to shit as soon as I get in the car.
Yeah, it's more up your alley. Because I'm like, let me do some shit that cater to everybody. I was trying to find some shit for KB because I know he was super motivated to rap. But the best thing I found was that. Then I had found a beat that was that like I wrote to, but I'm like, I might have to just keep this for myself. And so I made the whole thing. I even sent it to Go Hayes and them. But I'm trying to find shit that will like be for everybody. It's because I don't want to just make shit for me. So I found some shit. I'm like, this is for Mike. I'm talking the hook. I'm talking about getting high and she don't blow my high. I don't even smoke, but I'm like, this is up Mike's alley. Might have to. I thought about finding some shit, and we're gonna name a song. I'm not even gonna say it. We're gonna name a song, and we're gonna make it for you. It don't have to be.
You should name it after some food.
It's called Portillo's. We should have a song called Portillo. It don't have to be about nothing with food. We're just gonna call the song that. Sometimes you just gotta do that. You just make the song a song title. It got nothing to do with the fucking thing. KB, I'm trying to find it.
That's what make it hard because
we
know what
it's
KB
easy
like.
to be versatile when you're bad. So I'll just go to any beat.
No, for sure. But
we know what type of style you like.
sure.
Though.
It's not even that. Because I found a lot of beats that I think is his style. It's that there's a certain thing that got his itch back like up. And I'm trying to find something in that lane because sometimes if you hear some shit and it's like, that got me want to rap. You don't want to find the identical beat, but you want to find something in that realm. If I hear a Larry June song that made me be like, oh, I want to rap, I'm not going to go get a fucking Lex Luger beat, a Trap 808 beat. I'm going to go find something that's like Alchemist or Harry Farrar. You know what I'm saying? So he loving that Earl song that just dropped. Yeah. And that is a decent type of lane where it's like it's smooth, but it's hard.
You can do a lot of different things with it.
It was super hard trying to find a smooth, hard beat.
Yeah.
A lot of the shit was really like one-sided, where it was like hard or it was super like Earl-ish, where it's like it's not even a drop. It's just a sample that's looped.
I remember, I think I sent you I think it was a Boss Man D-Lo beat, and he was like, you can't hear nothing but Boss Man D-Lo on it.
That's one of them beats that I'll probably pass up on while I'm good because it's like I'm going to have to rap like him. Yeah. Some beats you hear and it's like, it's super, like I feel like that with V's or Detroit beats. Yeah. Detroit beats is like you have to rap like them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just have to flow like that. There's no other way to be creative. And but I'm a fan of something, and I'm putting it out publicly so it could be held accountable, and we should be putting out something by the end of the year because we don't even have to do a tape. We could do an EP of 4 or 5 songs, and I'll write your verses so there's no pressure, or I'll help you. You're not gonna shake your hand because if I ghostwrite, I ain't the typical ghostwriter. The only way I could be a ghost is if you pay me. You ain't paid me, so we gonna publicly let it be known that I'm like Rick Ross. Did you? I sent it to that group chat. They like an old page was like, man, Diddy snapped on this Waka Flocka Hard in the Paint remix, and he did have a decent verse. Rick Ross is in the comments like, Rose pen shines again. Let it be known I wrote that. No more, because like all those years, Diddy has always had writers, but I didn't know it was Rick Ross. Rick Ross like, fuck it, I did that.
Every artist has writers. I just want people to know that. Mostly all of them have some sort of writer at some point.
You've went from all writers to mostly all. So now I think the next thing you go say is, well, some people have writers.
No, I'm pretty sure all of them.
You think Jay-Z has a writer?
Probably.
You think Lil Wayne got a writer?
Yeah,
what's your version of having a writer?
I think he shared some, but I don't think he's really wrote.
Like they give them that whole, like they might have some where they're like, hey, I think I wrote this, and I think this is your
in that context.
Yeah.
No, now you're making me dial back. But in the context you started with, I think 1,000% of rappers have writers. Yeah. But the thing about rappers and writers is when I say somebody like Jay-Z or Lil Wayne, when you write your verse, I don't think anybody's ever written a Jay-Z verse. But now if you talk about a hook, this is where it gets a little dicey.
Yeah.
Pharrell Williams has definitely came to Jay-Z with a song fully structured and said, Jay, all you got to do is put your verse here and put your verse here. But the hook, which is the main selling part of the song, there's not one artist who ain't never had a hook be given a
single was supposed to be Drake's song, but Lil Wayne.
Yes, that's why it says featuring.
I think with you
has Drake.
I think
on the
that's
hook.
Drake. Drake basically, I think, wrote that song.
A lot of Take Care or the big portions of Take Care was the Weeknd shit that he let Drake have, and it's like you just rap, but here's the basis of the song, and it's like in that context, every rap because you would get in your way as a rapper or a musician if Go Ahead structured a song for numbers on a board. He said all y'all got to do is just be on it. I made the beat. Here's the hook. The hook is undeniable. Because a lot of the songs that go off, it's the hook.
Yeah.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's the stuff that like people they repeat constantly.
Yeah, and it's the part of the song that is played the most. You hear a verse once, you hear the hook 3 or 4 times. That's why a lot of people are rich because they write hooks. But it's like in that sense, yeah. But now where it gets murky at is rappers, you're not supposed to have anybody write your verse. You can get somebody to give you a little, hey man, you should attack this with a fast flow. That's different. But now if I come in and I walk in and Jay-Z is like, Kanye, write this. You know, then it's like, hold up. I don't think that has ever happened, ever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
I've heard. I can't remember.
With Linkin Park? But ain't that with Linkin Park? Okay. But yeah, it's like
That's funny. I got somebody my guy Block inside of my stream, he always be playing some Jay-Z Linkin Park as like his song request. That's like his shit.
That is an incredible song. Now, what the hell are you waiting for?
That's exactly what it
After me, there will be no more. But yeah, that's why the Drake shit was what it was, because it's like Drake had help with the verses. Drake has had help with the verses, and that's what rappers. But at the same time, it's such a conversation because we've also seen Drake help others, and there's also people that can vouch that they've seen Drake write crazy verses. So
yeah,
but it's like
there was a whole thing of him having a BlackBerry. The BlackBerry is where he all wrote his verses.
Once you dip in that water, though, people gonna react a certain way. If they find out one verse Jay-Z had somebody else write for him, people gonna go crazy because the allure of a rapper is I write my own shit versus like R&B, which is like everybody writing their shit. You just show up and sing it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, we gonna put some shit out, man. We gonna put some shit out. That's a wrap for me, unless y'all got anything else, man.
And we appreciate y'all watching or listening to this episode of Numbers on the Board. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, 5 stars on Apple and on Spotify. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Numbers on the Board is Tuesdays and Saturdays, and you're going to get your hoop fix. We'll see y'all in a couple days.
Come watch games with us on Wednesday, too.